Ayy, poppin' like I'm supposed to. Watch out for the people that ain't close to. Speak a little something you could toast to. I ain't tryna hear about what you won't do. Moving like I'm into. Hit the ground running like the rent do. Speak a little something that you're into. I ain't tryna hear about what you been through. Like hold up, say what's the hold up. I got the pack, who got the roll up? I'm tryna pull up. It seem like every time I show up, it gotta go up. See the drip, they see the glow up. Oh, now they know us. See, it's funny how my pockets out of shape, but I fit for the flex. Clear the phone call, hit my chick with a text. Parlay through the bird with my drip from the jets. Save a couple hundred by your with the rest. I prefer my reefer with Henny and Coke. Please don't be stingy, got plenty to smoke. Show up and act up and back to the crib. I do not stun, I just rap what I live. Seem like they doing the most for the clout. Did what I said so they know what I'm about. Show up and act up and back to the crib. I do not stun, I just rap what I live. Ayy, winning like I ought to. I ain't wanna do it, but I got to. Smoking what my doctor told me not to. Got these wishing they was hot too. Ballin' like I need to. Got my exes wishing for a redo. Smell the marijuana when I speed through. Hit her with the tip, that's a preview. Hold up, wait up, get your weight up. Shit, get your money, not your hater. Boy, draw a play up. I flip my wrist, a layup. She wanna lay up. I gotta get it, I'ma stay up. I'm all the way up. I got my pay up. I ain't playing with you. I'm a coach now. Commentating, do the most now. I be somewhere booted with my toes down. Make little baby tooted with her nose down. I prefer my reefer with Henny and Coke. Please don't be stingy, got plenty to smoke. Show up and act up and back to the crib. I do not stun, I just rap what I live. Seem like they doing the most for the clout. Did what I said so they know what I'm about. Show up and act up and back to the crib. I do not stun, I just rap what I live.
There you go. What's up, good people? Good Saturday morning. Hopefully you can hear me. Let me know that you can hear me by putting guilty as charged, guilty on all counts, guilty, however you want to type it, whatever makes your heart content. Justice for Andre, anything that lets me know that you can hear me and remind us that God is good and what you do in the dark will come to light. Remember that, good people. Remember that, good people. What we got? What we got? What we got? I don't see none of y'all saying deep dope, intro love. Guilty. There we go. There we go. There we go. I know y'all with me now. I hate my head cut off, but we got to work with what we got to work with. I'm in a new, I'm in my regular studio space, but I'm not used to going live in here. So I'm trying to look, got the blinds up and everything. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. We getting it all together. We getting it together. Anyway, we're going to have some conversation today. What I'm going to do is actually give you guys an overview of what occurred yesterday. We already know the verdict, like that I don't have to go too deep into. But what you guys don't know is what happened leading up to it as of Friday morning until, we got the actual verdict. But what's up, first of all, to my YouTube, Facebook, Twitter people. I was trying to get on TikTok today, and that was a problem, but eventually we'll be on TikTok. I am on all social media platforms at IamValeB. And so that's my name that, well, you can't see it now because there's a comment right there, but IamValeB. You can follow me on all social media platforms and chat with me and see my other level of shenanigans and other things that, you just can't really share on or show on YouTube. Also, make sure to hit that like button as you come in. It really helps this channel grow. Thank you so much, Ravika, Omega. And let me know where you guys are also viewing from in the chat. I love to see where you guys are viewing from. It's just kind of cool to know that there are people across the country. And I love to travel too. So I have been paying attention to our demographics, especially from those who are in the VIP community, because when you sign in, you tell me what city and state you're in. And so that also helps me when we start doing our meet and greets, which there's something in the work with me and some other YouTube creators, or YouTubers as we call ourselves. And so that's helping us in deciding where we might want to make our first stop. And so yeah, that's very cool. So stay tuned. I'll give details on that as we hash through them. Also, don't forget to, well, we were just talking about the VIP community. In order to join the VIP community, the number is scrolling across the screen at the bottom. All you have to do is text it just like you would text anyone else from your phone. And you can just say, hi, Vale, or what's up, or join VIP, whatever you want to say. And that makes you a part of our Vale's Important People community. And yeah, we do a lot of stuff over there. I give updates on the channel. I give you notifications of when new videos are coming out. I pick your brains about things I'm trying to do as far as being a social media influence, but also the business side of this. And also, sharing for those of you who may be interested in this or entrepreneurship in general. I have a lot of experience and knowledge in that. And so as we grow, I'll share more about that. And then, personal tidbits about myself. Thank you so much, Kathy Fields, for that super chat that just grabbed my eye. Usually, I'm trying to wait till certain breaks, but thank you so much. I really, really, really appreciate that. And true, all money is not good money at all. And this proved that. Greed. Speaking of super chats, thank you guys who are donating. Also, thank you who have donated before. If I've ever missed your comment, I apologize. It means a lot to me. Thank you all for those cash apps. I heart them. When I heart them, trust me, I'm reading your comment with the cash app and also paying attention to your name. I'm gonna figure out the best way to recognize you guys too, but I'm like, some people have their real names on there, and I'm like, I can't just take a picture and then show it here and thank you. So I'm trying to figure out the best method to do that, and it's kind of hard to retype them all too. But I'll figure it out. I'm gonna get it together. That way I can thank you guys as well, because I greatly appreciate it. The Zelles and the Venmos, and then of course the PayPal is coming soon. What else we got? We're working through housekeeping. We'll be into the dirt of it all, or the tea of it all, and the joy of it all, the joy of it all, in a minute as well. Speaking of housekeeping, when it comes to this community, we do have guidelines. This is a purpose-driven community, and we have rules of engagement for that. And one of them is no curse words or profanity in the chat. If you feel the need to use them because you curse like a sailor in your personal life, misspell the words, and not by one letter. Misspell them where we kind of get your point or whatever. Put the little squigglies, the dollar signs, the special symbols, all of that stuff. Also, do not type in this chat or in any of the comments, even under the videos, because I've been deleting comments, and some were good, but they had the word ill with a K in it. And I'm like, I can't have that. And remember, also, do not type smurder. Do not type that with an M. Don't type it with an M. And you can say M word. You can say unalive. I've seen people saying, say this, say this. I'm not one for telling people what you must say, as far as I will tell you what you must not say here that affects my revenue. But I will not tell you what words you must use. Use the word that is most comfortable to you, that is not derogatory and does not harm the monetization of my career, my business. This is my business. I love being with y'all. Don't get me wrong. And I enjoy this work greatly. This has been a dream of mine for literally 12 years. So that ain't the problem. The problem is I got to be able to eat and keep a roof over my head. So we can't have so much fun that, that this is for naught. Yeah. And if you accidentally do it or on purpose, do any of those, no-goes, then our beautiful moderators would be more than happy to help you in deleting those comments. And so they'll be working their way through the chats doing that as well. Speaking of, well, I'll finish this. Also, this is my virtual home, as I've stated in other videos. Welcome. Thank you for coming. Thank you for even wanting to be a part of come visit my home. Even if you're being nosy, just trying to see what kind of furniture and stuff I got up in here. Thank you. I appreciate your interest in me on any level. It's greatly appreciated. But with that being said, I do have rules of engagement for how you interact with me and how you interact with my virtual home, being this. And one of them is to be kind, be respectful to everyone, including myself, be disagreeable if you're disagreeable, be disagree, I should say, without being disagreeable. And that just means that if you disagree, you can disagree with someone without insulting them and without being harsh. And so that goes for this community as a whole, the individuals within this community, whether it be the moderators or our lovely friends who are here, as well as me. I ain't trying to see the foolishness either. And thank you, moderators, who I don't see it. Y'all so good that I don't see it. I'll see people saying, don't say that about Veil or whatever, but I never saw it because it's gone. So thank you. It keeps my mind clear. I don't have to worry about all that. I just do this work that I'm doing for you guys. Also, thank you to my moderators, both on the YouTube side, on all the platforms, and also our backstage moderators for this live is Go Gadget Bridget, who is my birthday twin. I've said this before. I'll probably say it every time because I love the fact that we were both born on April 17th of the same year. So we're literally twins without having the same parents. And then also Alice, blessed child of God. She is also with us again this morning. So thank you, ladies, as usual, for doing an amazing job and just having my back. I really appreciate both of you and all of our moderators that are out there in the streets, in them YouTube streets, helping us out. Also, I will be answering some questions because my notes aren't that long, because it was a pretty short morning yesterday. Thank God. It was pretty short, so I don't have a ton of notes. And so that means we'll have more time for interacting, me being able to go through some comments. But with that being said, the comments I'm going through are the super chats, because they've added that extra layer of support and they understand the hard work this is. and also our VIP text community questions. I have compiled some of them. I'm still going through them, people. So if I haven't acknowledged your question yet, that means I haven't gotten to it yet, but it may get answered in one of these because there's a lot of similar questions. And then I talk a lot. I ramble a lot. So sometimes you'll get your answer in my rambling. So, but I'll still acknowledge that you asked the question. I'm always responding. It's just taking me a long ass time, but I'm always responding, but it's taking a long time. But I'm getting to you all. I think I ended on Thursday of last week is the comments that I was going through during deliberation yesterday. But then, we were done so quick that, I didn't get that far. That's it. So I'll be doing that. Also, I just wanted to show you guys a special little surprise that one of our VIP text community members sent to me. She didn't put how she got a hold of it or anything, but I wanted to show it just because it does show, even with what we saw yesterday with the Griggs press conference, which we will go over that as well. The entire family is not dismantled. There are family members who still interact with each other because they were not the ones involved in this horrendous act of this guilty murderer. I can't say the word, but you know who we're talking about. James Timothy Norman. So the whole family hasn't been, but there's some issues. We know it's clear from the press conference. There are some issues, but I just wanted to show this because I just thought it was, I don't know. It just warmed my heart to see this. So we have if you're viewing the screen, to your left, we have Kalyn, I think, Kalyn, who is Andre's oldest sister. She's the one who spoke during the press conference and really just laid it out, and we'll see that in a moment. We have Charles. I'm like, I forgot his name. Y'all know I ain't forgot Charles' name. I did a whole video on Charles. I love Charles. I think we'll get into the randomness of this all, like my interactions with people, but there was some glancing, and I'll put it that way. But we have Charles here, Charles Crenshaw, who was on the Welcome to Sweetie Pie show. This young lady in the purple is their cousin, Dre's cousin, and the one in the plaid white dress, that is his other sister. I don't know if she was younger or not. And then the one next to her is Monique's daughter. So she was actually on the Welcome to Sweetie Pie show as well. And then we have Dre's big brother. And Dre's big brother has definitely been holding the family down. You can really tell from their interactions. Like, I literally got to observe them, and it's been a blessing that you guys put me in this position to be able to do this. But being there every day and being able to observe their interactions and how every single day Darren sat next to his mom. Every single day he sat next to his mom, and held her, and just, you could tell that he's like the patriarch of the family. But just seeing their closeness and all, and they were all there every day. But we'll get more into that. I don't want to get too sidetracked. I wanted to show you guys that tidbit, and thank you. Again, I never know who's okay with their whole name being said and not, but thank you, Kay. And that's stands for her name. But thank you, Kay, for sending me that, and I happened to catch it like literally right before as I was putting this live together. So I was like, oh, perfect timing, because I'm actually going to go live and I can add this picture in. But anyway, so let's get into the recap of yesterday. And can someone put in the chat what the actual charge, his guilty charges were, because I have not refreshed my mind. It's just been a whirlwind, and I wanted to do that. Before this, so that I could actually repeat what the charges were that he was found guilty of, but I didn't get a chance to do it. So if you wonderful good people could help me out with that, I would greatly appreciate it. I'm only one man. I'm only one man. One day, we'll build to the level I have someone helping me out with those sort of things. Thank you so much for the super chat. And I'm gonna go back and because they're gonna be our great moderators, Bridget and Alice, they're starring the super chat. So I'll go back after I go over this stuff, and then I'll read through the actual questions, just so you guys know. Okay, so picture this. Yesterday morning, the trial before the trial starts, we're in the courtroom. James Timothy Norman, the guilty murderer, walked into the courtroom, was shackled and brought into the courtroom. Yesterday, he had on a solid blue suit, the same solid blue suit that he's repeated. He had on a white pinstripe shirt, the same white with blue stripes, same one that he's worn before, with an open collar. So this was his outfit that wasn't so lucky for him. Now, someone made a comment somewhere. I get them so many places now. I can't remember where, but someone sent me a comment saying that because Tim is a prisoner, they don't allow them to have like a ton of outfits. And so they were actually surprised. And I don't know if this person was in law enforcement or what, but the way they presented their response was kind of like they're a person in the know. And so they said they were actually surprised that he even had that many outfits that we've seen, that he could kind of, mix and match. I would say if we had to guess, would we say that he had about, thank you, conspiracy from some murder was one of the charges. Put them all together, somebody, and moderators, whether it's a super chat or not, if you put that on us. Yeah, that's not what that's. Oh, yeah. Whether it's a super chat or not, just put it on the screen. Leave it up there until I notice it, and then I'll read it. His guilty charges, the murderer. I'm so happy we can finally say that without hesitation. Okay, so so the person was saying that they were actually surprised that he even had as many variations as he had. So I think he probably was able to go 3 or 4 days before he started repeating. So they say that's a good thing. I mean, different. So there was some advantages. I did also hear, this is like the stuff y'all wouldn't know from anyone but those of us who were there. But I did also hear one day somebody brought Tim lunch, which was different. And that was during deliberation. So the first day of jury deliberation, we heard that somebody had brought Tim lunch. They went out for lunch, the family, and then somebody was able to bring him lunch. I was like, wow, okay. I didn't know they did that. But okay, so now let's get to who was in attendance. So this is before the hearing, before the jury. I keep forgetting this wasn't the trial part. So this was before the jury even came in to get their instructions for the day and then go into deliberation. So at that point, some of the Montgomerys were there. Big Ed was there, and actually just Miss Robbie. And then it was like a few friends and people, we wouldn't know, but it wasn't a lot of people at all. I don't know, probably if it was 5 of them, 5 or 6 probably max. Excuse me, people. So then Miss Robbie, she had her blonde wig. That blonde wig is tight. Like, I don't know if somebody's styling that every day or what. Sorry. But the blonde wig was still, the black roots with the blonde hair, the bob thing. She had that. She had on a jogging outfit, but it was light. It was white rather. And it was like, I don't know, it looked woolly. It almost looked like, I don't know, cashmere or something. And then it had a big green picture in the front. Like, I couldn't tell really what it was, but it was glittery and large. And then her sleeves at the cuffs, they were also a matching green. But it was definitely like a jogging outfit, but it wasn't like your traditional. It wasn't like a workout jogging outfit. It was like definitely a casual one that you would wear. You wouldn't wear it to the gym. And then, that's all I had on here. So it was dressy casual, sporty maybe. Oh, thank you for this. So the guilty charges were conspiracy to commit M for hire resulting in death, and conspiracy to commit mail and wire fraud. And so I'll have like a pre-recorded video, because when I do things like that, I like to have my facts. And this real life me I'm random and I ramble. And so I don't want to speak too deeply on that, because I don't want to get facts confused. But I have had deep conversations about this even prior to the verdict with JSO Extra from Today's Celebrity News. That's our YouTube channel, Today's Celebrity News. And then also Chronicle Speaks. We actually had some really in-depth conversations about that. And so I do want to cover that like in a video where I could really lay that out for you guys and show the evidence that aligned with it or didn't, and where there were some potential places where we were like, wow, this is a chance that, you know, he might get off on this or that. So we'll break that down, and then I'll do a live on the pre-recorded video where the facts are laid out and they're concise, and then we can talk about it. So okay, so wait, let me make sure I jump. Yeah, I jumped. Sorry. Okay, so then court started at 9 a.m. Judge Ross brought the court into session. He brought the jury in. He always says a few little words to us. And then he'll ask the attorneys, like, if they have anything they want to add. Do they have any like thing they want him to say to the jury, you know, etc. And so they didn't have anything. So he called the jury in and he gave them their instructions and said that the evidence that they had previously requested was now already in the jury room, basically waiting for them. Like I guess they put it back that morning. He told them to grab their notebooks, because remember, I told you in another live that they can't take their notebooks with them. You'll never see mine. You won't even believe it's here with this thing. But they can't take the notebooks with them. So when they come in the morning, the notebooks are laid on their chairs. Remember, they're numbered. The notebooks are numbered, and the jurors go by numbers. So they sit in the same place every time. And so they just sit down where their notebook is, hold it in their hands. He gives whatever instructions. He says, Judge Ross gives whatever instructions, says what he has to say. And then he's like, get up, get out of here. And in a nicer way than I'm saying it. And so they get up and they walk with their notebooks. Now, at the end of the day, they come back with their notebooks in their hands, and they leave them in the chairs when they leave for the day. So, and even with the verdict being yesterday, they couldn't take those notebooks with them. Now they are, as of yesterday afternoon, they were free to talk about this case. I have not been connected to social media or anything in a major way, or the news. So I haven't caught up on anything. So I don't know if any of you have seen them, but yeah, they can talk now. So they wouldn't get in trouble if they talk now. So it'd be interesting. I hope someone talks. I kind of want to know what that deliberation, what the conversations were behind the scenes. I would love to know that. So we'll see if that happens, or has already happened. Maybe I'm just the only one out the loop. Okay, so they was dismissed. I noticed with this. So, this was what I noticed. So during this, Tim is, he has his normal stoic stuff, but I noticed when he was being handcuffed to take, because he comes in anytime court is in session. And then when the jury's dismissed or whatever, and court is on recess, he's then re-handcuffed at his desk, or it's a desk that it's a conference table that they're sitting at. He's recuffed, and then he's, walked out through the prisoner entrance in the back. And so I noticed, and it had been brought to my attention by someone else too, that Tim was very, it was almost like he wants to hide the handcuffs. I mean, he can't hide the fact that he's shackled and kind of walking funny, but it's like he doesn't really want to, he's not like, hey, here's my handcuffs. Hey, he's not doing that. It's like always down and kind of hidden. And so as he walks kind of like this, where they're like pressed against his body, where they kind of, almost blend in. And it's funny, after all of this, that's what he's embarrassed about. So he basically does the walk of shame, and then he walks out. And I put a little note that he always seems pretty cool and laid back until that moment. That's where you see that is his sentencing date, December 15th. And I will be there. I will be there. God willing, I will be there. So then, we're put in recess. We go to our media area, which is the courtroom across the hall. That way we're able to, use our electronic devices, do whatever we want to do. And, I was doing a combination of responding to VIP text community messages, sending out some social media stuff, doing some other stuff I needed to do with the business. And then we get the notice. I still didn't write the time. I meant to write the time. We get the notice that the jury has sent another note. And this was their eighth note of all of the notes during deliberation. And this was, I would say, if I'm guessing, maybe an hour or so, 45 minutes to an hour after they had went in the jury room, because it was taking a little bit of time where we were like, well, maybe they won't ask for anything else, and this means, you know, they're getting down to the wire, so to speak. So anyway, we go back over to the courtroom. Judge Ross then reads the note that the jury sent him, and they say, can we get Tim Norman's flight records from 314 and 315? They gave the exhibit numbers, and Judge Ross then asked the attorneys for both sides, do they have any objections to this request from the jury? And for those of you who aren't like really tied into the dates and all of that, what that meant was they were asking for the flight records of Tim flying into St. Louis at midnight, which was basically 20 hours or so before. I could have that wrong, but it's the morning of. He came in at midnight to St. Louis, and by 8:02, 8:03 p.m., Andre was taken. And so this is the day of, basically. And so they wanted that flight record, and then they wanted the flight records of him flying out when he left. And supposedly he had never been in St. Louis the whole time, from what he was originally telling people. He was in California the whole time. And that flight, when he left, didn't leave till around 1:30 a.m., somewhere around that time. Okay, so then, what did I have here? Oh, when we went in for the first note was when I then saw Janice Janice, Miss Robbie's sister. She ended up coming, and then her bookkeeper, the lady who's been on the show, she was there, a business manager, whatever her official title, and then Miss Robbie. Those were the main people we might know who had returned for that, to hear what that first jury note of the day was, which was the 8th note of this whole deliberation. So then they decide they're going to give it to him. No problem, blah, blah, blah. We then return to the media room. We're doing more whatever and talking. And we're like, they're asking for notes. But then our thoughts were, and I mentioned this in Thursday night's live, I think that was live stream, that we were saying, okay, they're obviously kind of working their way through the timeline based on what evidence they were asking for. So it was showing that, they're working their way through the timeline, basically. So we was like, this is a good thing. Like, and they're being thorough. Some people were saying they're pissing me off. Like, I was seeing comments all over the place. They're pissing me off. Why it's taking them so long and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, they're being thorough. And it's actually a good thing, because if they came back with a verdict too soon, it could also work in the advantage of Tim and his defense team with the appeal to say, well, they weren't thorough. They came back with a decision too quickly. They were influenced by this, and that. Versus saying, oh, they took, I think it was 18 hours or so total of deliberation. That shows that they didn't rush to a decision. That shows that they were taking this whole thing serious from all vantage points. So it actually was a good thing. Now, would I have liked to have had Friday free to do some things I wanted to do in St. Louis? Absolutely. But the most important part is that we got justice for Andre, and justice and peace, or starting to get some closure for the Griggs family and those Montgomerys who need the closure. Okay, so then we got to the jury note. So, we're sitting there. Next thing you know, we get another notice. The jury has another note. Now, we don't ask for too many notes, because then that's concerning us, because the conversation that was being had by some officials there, they were sharing things with us based on their experience, because they felt a little more comfortable. And I'm just being very general, so you'll never know who I'm talking about. But they were saying, based on experiences in situations like this, it was not usual for, yes, I'm going back for the sentencing. It was not usual for the jury to actually ask for to have this many notes. They said it's actually more normal for them to have maybe one or two in some rare circumstances, but this many, they were like, this means somebody is hung up. Somebody in the jury is stalling, basically, is what they were saying. So that concerned us, but we know God. We know God is good. So delay does not mean denial. So we get the notice for that there is a 9th note, and so yeah, okay. So we get the notification that there's another note. I'll put it this way. In my mind, I wrote down 9th note, because when I'm heading back over, I'm thinking, okay, I'm about to write another note, because I I'm new to this, people. It'll be next. Thank you so much. Yes, these subscribe. Y'all have been amazing. We'll get to that in a minute. I don't want to keep getting sidetracked. But thank you so much for that though. So we're going over there thinking we're getting another note. Again, I wrote it down. I'm writing ahead of time so that when I get in there, I can give y'all the tea on who's in there. So I don't need to be writing which note it is. I don't want to forget to write that. So I write that stuff first. When we get into the courtroom, it looks different and it feels different than it had before. There were more people in there already. Usually we were the first few people in there, us as media, and it would just be, I don't know, 20 people in there, maybe 15. This time it was like the court was filling up. So it's like, oh, wait. And so I sit down and I then noticed someone pointed out to me the extra marshals, the U.S. Marshals. And these U.S. Marshals, unlike the ones who've been in there through this whole process, the ones who've been in there through this whole process are the uniformed U.S. Marshals of the courthouse. So they basically, they pretty much look like, I was going to say airport security, but not really. But like the security that wear the suits and have their badges and all of that. They look more like that. But they're all uniform. They're, the dark blue dark blue, navy blue uniforms. So we always see them. We interact with them. But what was different was we had these and then you have the marshals with Tim. Those marshals dress in like regular suits. They can wear Armani suits or whatever they want to wear. Or deacon suits like the one I told y'all about the other day. So we know them. We know their way of dressing and everything else. Well, these other marshals that were there today, I actually saw them when I was coming out of a parking garage, and it was like 5 of them, and they looked very military-ish, but they were dressed in casual clothes, jeans. One guy had an army fatigue Under Armour shirt on. They just look like detectives. But when I went in the courtroom and the person pointed it out to me, they had on their U.S. Marshal jackets with the logo on the back or whatever, the name. And so it felt, and they were kind of almost guarding they were placed around the court and at the back door and all of that. And it was like, okay, this is different. This is something happening. And so when I saw the Griggs family come in, because they hadn't been in through any of those other notes, I asked the person next to me, I was like, do you think this is the verdict? And they said, yeah. And our hearts dropped. It felt like a funeral service. You know how when a funeral service and they march the family in, it got, man, the air just got so thick in there. It was like, and then you get that anxiety. I'm feeling it all over again. Because it was like you praying for the best, but you just don't know. And the sadness in it, because you got the sadness of the Griggs family that you're hoping will finally, after 6+ years, get justice. And just seeing the pain on them and hoping that they don't get hurt again. And then you got the Montgomerys who, for better or worse, whatever's happening over there, there's pain over there. There's the act of this person that they love and still love, who's committed this act that caused this chaos within the family and breaking hearts broken everywhere. You felt that energy. Yeah, I learned that. I didn't know that, Charles Nelson. I did not until yesterday. Now I know. I'll probably be in some more of these types of things, in the years to come. But yeah, I learned that yesterday. Okay, so when it comes to the Montgomery family, more of them has showed up. So again, this was another sign that things were changing. So it was Big Ed again, cousin Michelle from the show. She was there. Mr. Bussy, he had come and gone, throughout the week. Auntie Linda, Miss Robbie's sister Linda, Miss Robbie, Tim's friend who had on the shorts, Thursday that I told y'all about. He was dressed very, very, very casual. He was there, and then later JR showed up. JR showed up after. I don't know if after all of the verdict had been read or if 1 or 2 of them, but I feel like all of them, and people told him as he was sitting like, guilty. And he was like, so the Griggs family, it was the same Griggs family, like 9 of them. I feel like it was 1 additional person, but it wasn't like a friend or extra family member. We don't know. This stuff happened so quickly, and it was just so emotional. I teared up, and I was like trying to compose myself because I was like, I gotta write the notes, I gotta be in the moment for you guys to recall this stuff. But the truth is, it was deep, and my notes are very incomplete. I wish y'all could see where I have a star and I wrote Tim, and this is normally where I'll be like, Tim did this, and Tim looked like this, and Tim da da da. Like I tell y'all, it's blank because I didn't get to it. And then I did write, however, tense. Like the feeling was just very tense. What I do recall off the top of my head with Tim was that he was looking pretty stoic, the normal stoic look. His attorney, though, John Leonard, had his hand like this, his head like, I don't know how well y'all can see it, but like looking down like this. And somebody pointed out to me that like he feeling it. He didn't know, because I asked, I was like, would they tell him? For y'all, I'm ignorant to this stuff because thank God I ain't never been in these sort of situations. I don't have a lot of experience with courts except for traffic court, and that's been years, thank God. When they used to harass me for being black while driving and young with a decent car. So another story with that. But anyway, so I don't have a lot of experience with this. So all this was new. So I was asking some questions that may sound ignorant to y'all, but now I know the answer. But closed mouths don't get fed. If you don't ask, you don't know. So he doesn't know. They don't tell anyone. The only people who know are the jury, and then they give it to the judge for him to know what their decision is, and then it's told to the public. So Tim is looking, just looking normal, stoic, a little tight and tense in the mouth area. Then I asked JSO Extra what time, because y'all know I don't have no watch in there. Mainly because you gotta go to the metal detector and stuff. So I stripped I have as little extra stuff on me as possible when I was there. And so you can't have your cell phone on, so I couldn't check the time. So I asked JSO Extra the time, and she was like, it was 11:58 a.m. So at 11:58 a.m., the jury had their verdict. He has them come in, they file in, they get to they sit down. The judge asked them, the formal question, has the jury come to their decision, blah, 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 this and that. Then he has the clerk go over and take the piece of paper. Thank you for the super chat. Take the piece of paper that they've written it on. And then the clerk hands it to the judge. The judge looks. We're looking at him like, can we see a reaction? He's a judge. He had a poker face. You didn't know. What was happening? So he said, I have received this document or whatever. He said it was completed correctly. Like, I guess it's official how they have to do it. He said it was completed correctly. He accepts it, blah, blah, blah. And then he said, so then he gives a warning. He gives another warning. So remember, he's generally pretty cool with us as the public and the media and stuff. He don't reprimand us too much, but he has a couple times. He gives a warning. He says, I understand. Now I'm paraphrasing. It's not verbatim, but he says, I understand that this is, a very emotional situation for many involved, whatever. He kind of elaborated, like, I get it. Like, it's been a long time and da 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 and this and that. And he was like, but you have to compose yourself. And he said that if you know that you are going to be unable to compose yourself, whichever way this goes, please excuse yourself from the courtroom, because he was saying he doesn't want any outbursts rather will not be acceptable at all. No reaction are we supposed to have. All right. So let me look ahead of my notes. Okay, let me see how I want to do this. Because remember, my notes are not they're not quite orderly like they've been in the past. Because it was emotional, and I was trying to live in the moment. I was having my own emotions about it. I'm looking at the Griggs family in front of me. It was a lot. And so, okay, I said all those things. Okay. So then they had reached their decision. We talked about all of that. So before, we already know what what the verdict was. So right before, again, the verdict is being read, cousin Michelle's arms, I know I was going to do that wrong, arm is around Miss Robbie. Miss Robbie is sitting between Michelle on her right side And there was a young lady on Miss Robbie's left side who has been there every single day. She's light-skinned. She has long, I think y'all call them goddess braids, and they had like little gold ribbon kind of stuff around it. And she had been there every day, and we could never figure out who she was. And the only interaction we had with her, well, I had none with her except for the the death stares. Like, if it was up to her, y'all, from her eyes and the way she looked at me, I wouldn't be here talking to y'all right now. Because I was like, what is her problem? Like, why does she stare at us like that? And there were times we were always in the very back of the courtroom, and she would just be like death stare looking at her. And I'm like, she's turning her head 3 rows back to stare us down. Like, why? What is it? So when I learned that she does literally have a problem with us was when another person in the media was asking, trying to ask if Miss Robbie would be ready for comments. And this was like a couple days ago. And Miss Robbie just kind of shook her head no. And this person was with her, and she says, she ain't gonna be talking to you. And then she says, stop lying. Like, what? Stop lying? You trying to talk to Tim? Like, is this for Tim? So then we find out on yesterday, we realize who this person is. Most likely, allegedly. We're assuming to some degree, but we kind of think this is right. This is what's circling. That it was Tim's girlfriend, his current girlfriend that he was with when he got arrested. And it makes sense now because she was there every day. No matter who was there, she was there. And she hates us. She despises us or whatever. Maybe she doesn't use the word hate, but she might. But it was very clear. Right. Somebody said exactly. Tell the girl to tell Tim that. So what made it very clear to, like, because she's no one we've ever seen before. She's not the baby mama, because some of you may be thinking like I thought when we first were trying to figure out who is she. We were like, I said, it's not the baby mama because she was on the show of his youngest son, because she was on the Welcome to Sweetie Pie show, like maybe the last season, if I'm not mistaken. And she got some confessional camera time. So I remember her. I remember her demeanor. And I was like, that woman's a little bit more polished. This woman looks nice and all of that. I don't dislike you. I'm doing my job. I'm talking to her because I'm assuming she's watching because she knows enough to hate us, I guess. But this woman looks a little bit just more, urban, for lack of a better word. Like the others call us when they trying to say we ghetto, urban. But she, whatever. I get it. It's her life. It's her, smurderer boyfriend. I get it. So, anyway, so she had her arms around Miss Robbie too. When the first verdict was read, because they did each count separately, when they did the first count, she slumped over and she started leaning on Miss Robbie. And I'm like, ain't you supposed to be supporting her? Because in my mind, I thought she was maybe a cousin or something like that. And I realized that no, this hitting her just as hard. She closer to Tim than any of us ever really thought. She slumps over on Miss Robbie. She's leaning on her. Miss Robbie is kind of, I couldn't see her as well because my view, like other people were kind of blocking my view of her a little bit, but she looked like she was just had her head down, and Michelle was crying. Cousin Michelle was crying and kind of rubbing her at the same time. It was heartbreaking, y'all. And I know, yeah, it was heartbreaking, y'all. I know people got different opinions of all of this, but it's so much heartbreak in it. It's just sad. I care about people no matter what. I care about people. So, during this time, so the verdict is being read. So the judge reads each count and, the verdict. Tim is stone-faced. The Griggs start crying. The Griggs family is like slump over, like a level of relief. It felt like a funeral, y'all. It just did. And I don't do well at funerals now, especially if I've gotten older and lost very close people to me. It's really hard for me. But anyway, so it's like heavy, y'all. It's heavy. I can't express that enough. I wrote here, holding back tears because I'm trying my hardest not to like boohoo. So you're hearing audible people crying, not wailing, not real loud, but like almost at a funeral when it's at the quiet points and you hear, that kind of stuff. So you're hearing that like sporadic throughout the courtroom, not just over here at the Griggs in front of me, not just Miss Robbie and the young lady, people feeling. Somebody pointed out that Big Ed slumped over too, like, shaking his head, crying, all of that, got emotional. Judge Ross, after reading all the counts, Tim wasn't I didn't do it. He didn't do that. That was none of that. He just was stone-faced the whole time. Judge Ross then asked if the jurors, I don't know, had agreed to I can't even read my writing. I was emotional, y'all. I don't know what the hell this word is. What is this? Like scribbled. It's an I-N-E something. It's probably misspelled on top of that and scribbled. So I have no idea what I was writing. But he basically confirmed that, like, is this your verdict? And they said yes. Then he went through, then he said, let the record show. No. Then he went through each one. Maybe that's what I was saying. He asked each juror if the verdict, if this was their verdict, and he did it individually. That was supposed to be individually. I spelled it terribly wrong. And he was like, juror number 1, is your verdict guilty? And they say yes. Jury number 2, is your verdict guilty? Yes. And then he just went through all 12 of them. Woo, y'all. Woo, it was a lot. And Tim, whole time, stoic. And as they're saying this, it's just more emotion. I heard that the young lady who's Tim's, alleged girlfriend was very emotional to the point that she got physically ill. Someone said she threw up. I don't know that to be a fact because I didn't see it myself, but they said she was like visibly, physically ill. She got physically, I can see. I think she thought he was innocent on something because, again, he's a script writer. He's written stories, and I believe she was in love with him or loves him. And then on top of that, he's a great story writer. So it's like when you want to believe someone and they're good at telling tales and they make everything make sense, and you also want to believe that, there you go. You are so right. Walk by faith, not by sight. A narcissistic sociopath, well, I'm making you aware, has no feelings or emotions. Tim is full of demons, and those demons are controlling him. Yeah. So then he does that. All the jurors confirm. When we were asked to stand up, because the judge was like, you guys are kind of, that he was dismissing the jury from the case, but he asked them to return to the jury room because he wanted to, say some final words to them. And he thanked them, for their sacrifice, blah, 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 this and that. The jury then stands up, and anytime the jury was coming or going, we had to stand up as well, everyone in the courtroom. So we are standing up. Miss Robbie didn't stand up, and Tim's girlfriend, alleged girlfriend, didn't stand up. And this was different. And the reason I say this, the only person who never, excuse me, y'all. I need some water too. Sorry for being human. And I'm talking. So the only person who never really stood up when we would stand up, when we be for the judge to come in and for the jury to come and go and all of that, was Mama Griggs. She's older. And so she would instead, I got to remember what side y'all can see. She would raise her hand while we were doing that in respect. Miss Robbie always, for all of the other occasions, for a fact, I can tell you she stood up when the jury would come and go and when the judge would come and go. So, and the young lady as well, the alleged girlfriend, she would also stand up. Yesterday, after that verdict was read, neither one of them could stand up. And I don't think it was disrespect. Like, I don't think they was like, F this. It wasn't that. It was like they were so broken down in that moment. And then Michelle did stand up, but she's like rubbing, trying to comfort at the same time. It was a lot, y'all. So as Tim, okay, so now all this has happened. Judge says whatever he said. I can't even remember because, again, I wasn't taking notes. I was too emotional. And I was just shaking my head like, man, just the hurt you've caused on both sides of the family is crazy. Like, so then Tim is re-handcuffed. There were some questions to Tim's attorney. Oh, about sentencing date. That's what it was. There were some questions to Tim's attorney about sentencing date. Would he be cool with it? Something. He said that something about his schedule. And then the judge said, well, we will, we're potentially looking at this like in December. I don't know, y'all, this December 15th date. I don't know if this is a date that has come out of what was said in the courtroom, or if this is a date that became official record and it's solid. And the reason I say that is because what I observed was them trying to figure it out. And I think they were throwing a tentative date out there in that moment. But they could have resolved that behind the scenes. I'm not sure. I'm not saying, but just be prepared that also, because then, there was some conversation that it might get moved around. Don't know for sure. This might be the date that they finally decided on. But, so Tim handcuffed. He's waddling out, handcuffed. Now he's hiding his hands again. He looked over his family and he and then kind of nodded at them. I don't think he waved. Did he wave? I can't remember if he's waved on an occasion, and I can't remember if that was yesterday. Again, it was emotional, so forgive my memory or lack thereof. But he did as he got to. So he was acknowledging his family. I'll say that for sure. He was acknowledging. Okay, thank you, Heather. Healthily, me with a Z. I'm like, why can't I figure out how to pronounce that? Health. It's morning, whatever. But thank you so much, me with a Z. But so he's acknowledging his family. I can't remember his gestures. I didn't write them down because But he gets to right at the last moment where he's about to pass the doorway and we won't see him anymore. They open the door for him and he says, "Take care of mama." Were you concerned with taking care of mama when you came up with this elaborate plot to take the life of Andre? Were you concerned with mama when you waited all these years later and waited for them to finally capture you? Were you concerned with mama when you wasted her money on this trial of this attorney, this expensive, highfalutin attorney who still did not get you off? Did you care about taking care of mama when you're going to have her pay for this appeal that's still going to keep your ass in jail either? I don't know. Anyway, so the other piece. So these are the little tidbits. So that was it. You guys know the charges. You know all that good stuff. We then went outside, but I'm going to give you a couple little tidbits. So I mentioned in my live, I went live sporadically. I've never done live from my cell phone like that. So it's a mess. Y'all know I'm a perfectionist, and some of this, oh my God, it grieves my soul. But that's how you learn. You just gotta, and this is for y'all too. Those of you who have whatever this dream, whatever you're trying to, you want to do, and you're afraid to do it because you don't have it figured out yet and it ain't perfect yet. Get your ass out there and do it. This is me. This is us. We've been doing this this has been 2 weeks of me getting out there and doing it. Not knowing what I'm doing. Y'all have saw the mistakes, the hiccups and all of that. But y'all have also seen improvement within these 2 weeks. And so do the same. You got to do it. That's how you improve, by practice makes perfect, or better. But do it. But so a little bit of tidbits. So some of the conversations I had, what was interesting to me, what I said in the live yesterday was that for me, it's been a struggle because I wanted to cover this story in general because I am a super fan of the Welcome to Sweetie Pie show and have been since its inception. When they were doing the previews months before the show even came out, I could not wait for it. It was like, oh my God, people who look like me and a mom and son team, like me and my mom were in business, all of this stuff. And I was excited about it. And then the show was good to me. And I watched all the episodes for all of the seasons. And then I become a YouTuber. And then the drama happened with Janae, Miss Robbie, and Tim. And I ran to the internet to talk about it because I'm like, these are my people. And then, unfortunately, we find out about literally a month after I did that video. Tim is arrested for this. And so I've been following this that long because I cared and because it means something to me, too. I have an emotional attachment to this situation. I know they're TV people, but they're real people, too. And so I'm attached to it. I mean, I'm attached to them in a way that I did not want to be disrespectful. make assumptions and drag them and all of that. I get it. I'm gonna play it. What happened yesterday, I'm gonna play it. But I also have always just wanted to cover this story with as much respect as I can, except for, disclaimer, the murderer, James Timothy Norman. I will drag his ass forever. And also Darius Crooks. Like, when someone wrongs in such a way, I will drag. I'm not saying I don't drag people, but I don't like to drag people who are, in my mind, innocent or pulled into situations. That's just not how that doesn't feel good to my spirit. So with that being said, I have had interactions with both sides, the Montgomerys and the Griggs, that then gave me a level of peace, of feeling like, okay, I can breathe a sigh of relief knowing that I didn't, for the most part, didn't harm anyone or add any more pain in a major way. Some people don't like me, and that's fine. I get it. They don't want me covered. They don't want none of us talking about it. They wanted to never, get talked about in the public, but they are public figures. But when I said that, I say this because yesterday was really impactful, because one of the people that I was pretty sure wouldn't like me and would have issues with me was Miss Robbie herself. And on yesterday, after court went into recess, after we first met and the jury came in and got to go for their deliberations, Miss Robbie was walking out, and she actually turned and waved to me with a smile. And it wasn't to the group, it was to me. And I was like, hey. And it was funny because I didn't even think about it. I'm like, oh my God, she's like smiling and waving at me. And for one, I don't even know if I thought she wouldn't know who I was, really, for the most part. But then, that happened, and it just felt good that I know she knows we're media. She knows I'm a blogger because I've been there every single day. And she leaves out, and she's walking with Big Ed. I get to talking with my crew, and we're like, oh my God, you see what just happened? Blah, blah, blah. And they like, she like you. And so Big Ed comes back in, and then he motions for me. And so I go over to him, and I'm like, okay, I don't know if I'm in trouble. What's happening? And Big Ed is her security. Big Ed testified on behalf of Tim. What did Big Ed testify to? Now I forgot. What did Big Ed? Oh, Big Ed was the one who sent. It's so much, y'all, to remember. Big Ed is the one who sent the surveillance photo of Dre when he arrived in town and ended up at the West Florence and Sweetie Pie's location. He's the one that took the picture and texted it to Tim. So he comes over and he says, yeah, the guy who was actually sitting next to Miss Robbie with his arms around her, that's not her boyfriend. That's like her stepson. That's her stepson. And I said, oh. And I said, okay. Well, I was like, thank you so much. I said, someone else had actually sent me that message. Someone sent me a VIP message telling me that, and I was going to retract it the next time I talk to y'all. And this is the next time I'm really talking to y'all. So I told him, I was like, oh, someone sent me that, but I said, thank you so much for letting me know. I said, I will retract that. So when I told y'all the story, yeah. So when I told y'all, I'm sorry, reading the comments, somebody said the stepson. Yes, the stepson. So, and it's true. So when I told you guys that I think Ms. Robbie got a boo thing, and this guy had his arm around her, and it seemed a little closer, and he kept putting his arm around her, that is her stepson. That is James. That is Tim's father's other son, and they happen to have the same name too. Is that with that? I've only seen him in a photo, maybe 2 photos, all for a few seconds, weeks ago, only like once in my life. So although it's not like I would really fully recognize him, and the fact that he must really love Miss Robbie, because it wasn't like, I ain't saying nothing crazy was happening between them, but it just was very warm, and so I misinterpreted that level of warmth and also wanting it for her. The truth is, I want it for her. I want that for her. So that was not her boo thing. They didn't clarify whether or not she does have a boo thing, but there were no other people who were with Miss Robbie rolling like that. As far as like a male companion. But anyway, that's not her boo thing. That is her stepson, James Timothy Norman. Not the one who is the murderer. Not that one. Thank you so much, Denise Tracy. I appreciate that. I try to be. At my core, I am, for sure. I have my moments like everybody else. What else was I? Oh, and then the other thing I'm just telling y'all little tidbits of things that happen behind the scenes. So remember when I told you guys about the testimony of Kalyn, aka Preacher Boy, aka Minister, whatever they call him. He has all these church names. So I also told you he was the angel on Tim's shoulder because we saw episodes. I actually did a recap, an investigative series recap on him and Tim trying to be in the streets. And Kalyn was like, basically, you need to be home with Janae, and that woman loves you, and you need to really work on it, blah, 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 this and that. He's always tried to be the voice of reason in Tim's ear, but we see how that went. So Kalyn, and also let me know in the chat, because I'm curious, because this is winding down. I know I'm not done with watching the show and analyzing, because that's just how my brain works. I want to now look back and say, can I see that? Oh, look what he did that showed this, that's how my brain works. So I really would like to continue doing the investigative series. They take a lot of work for me to put together. So, it takes time. It's not like I'll be able to roll them out every week unless I do a bunch and then start rolling them out. But I want to know if you guys are interested in me still doing those Welcome to Sweetie Pie's investigative series recap. And if you are, just put recap in the chat or whatever you want to put to let me know. And I'm going to tally it up. And if it feels like it's enough people that are interested, I will definitely continue to do them because I want to, but also because they literally take me about 16 to 24 hours to do each one with like all the stuff that has to be done. I don't want to spend that amount of time when it's other content that you guys will be more interested in me doing instead. And but we will be doing these lives regularly now. I feel more comfortable and we're going to keep improving them. So we'll be doing lives like twice a week. I'm going to shoot for. And yeah, so it'll be in addition to the lives. But anyway, so back to Kalyn. Here's Kalyn. So Kalyn testified. I think he was testifying to Tim's character, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was basically, correct me if I'm wrong, y'all. It's too much in my head, and I don't have no notes on it. But I have notes on it, but I'm not going to dig back to his testimony. But he ended up coming, and remember, I described what he had on. He had on like the brown suede kind of blazer, and he had on a crew neck white shirt, and I told you it was like good quality. So he comes down. We're in the cafeteria on one of the breaks or something, or deliberations, whatever it was, and I think it was Deliberation. So we're in the cafeteria. He comes down. He's at the vending machine. He notices me. He's like, "Oh, that's my guy." Blah blah blah. So he comes over, and because mind y'all, I'm walking around that court sometimes like, let me get my butt on this elevator because I ain't trying to have nobody accosting me, being offended by me covering this. Not being mean, but just the fact I'm covering it all. So he comes over. He actually gives me a hug and then tells me he enjoys the show and that he was like, yeah, he was like, the shirt, just let them know the shirt was from Saks Fifth Avenue. I just found that to be funny. For one, that they're watching like that. And the fact that I was able to cover it and talk about his testimony, and he didn't feel offended. Like that's just my goal. But yeah, and I did mention his dad bod, and he was like, something he said from across the room about his dad bod. And I said, well, I got one too. Like, it's no hate. But anyway, that was a moment. I had some others, but those are the two that was Kalyn. I meant to mention him Thursday night because that had happened earlier in the week. And then Miss Robbie happened yesterday, and I just wanted to let y'all know. But also the reason I say that as well, and I'm going to now move into the video in a minute. But after the court, we leave out. We find out that the media is downstairs, like the news media. Oh, yeah, you saw that then. This is what I'm about to leave that on the screen for a second, moderators. So the local news had snippets that included you, Jay, and Chronicles with the family yelling your names. I was so proud of y'all. So yes, that's exactly what I was about to move into. So we go outside, and first it was the news media interviewing Tim's attorney. And I caught pieces of that because I didn't realize immediately that it was going on. So I kind of caught the tail end of that. He was answering some questions. He did make it known that they will be filing an appeal. I have it recorded on my phone. I didn't go live for that part. So I'm going to do a little video on that to talk about what he's going to attempt to do next. Is it going to work? Hell no. It ain't going to work. I really just don't think it's going to work. You're going to be wasting more of Miss Robbie's money, unfortunately. But he did that. And so after that, we then somebody sending me pictures of stuff. I'll see. When I do a commercial break, I'll see if I can pull up the picture because someone just sent me a picture. It's probably one of them. Hold on, y'all. I don't like doing stuff like this online because it feels so unprofessional to me. But we friends, we casual. Because I think I just got like a really good picture that y'all might want to see. I got a picture of the Griggs here. So what I'm gonna do is when I play that commercial break, I'm gonna make sure I pull it into the stream. Let me do this right here. Airplay it. I'm not on Wi-Fi on my computer. I'll figure it out in a minute, y'all. Okay. Okay, so we then come outside, and that happens. They interview Tim's attorney, and then a little while after, the Griggs family comes out, and then they gather together right in front at the court at the front doors, and then they do like a cheer, and they say "Justice for Andre." It was so cool and just wonderful. I didn't capture that. I don't know. Maybe I did. It's on my other phone. I don't know when I can look back at everything. But it was just so cool seeing that. I don't know, y'all. It was, oh my God, it was such a great day. So they did that, the Justice for Andre. And then we were recording from afar. And for one, we couldn't go up the steps because what I learned was not only do they not allow us to do any recording or having the phones out and all of that within the building, but they want you even off the steps. Like there's like ramps. I don't want to say handicap accessible because that's an improper word now. You know, these terms change all the time. And I can't remember the new word. But we couldn't go up the ramps or the stairs. You had to be away, like almost on the sidewalk. So we were trying to film them from afar, basically. And my goal was just to film them so I could show y'all, but not get in their way. Well, when they finished doing that, and the guy who was helping us as far as media, he's kind of like giving us evidence and all these other things. He's working with us. He tells us, oh, the Griggs family is willing to speak. So mind you, at this point, the Montgomerys have now come out the building as well. The Montgomerys came out in a cluster of 12 or whatever it was of them, and like almost like ants moving in sync. And they just went straight across the street. I got that. I think I got that in my live yesterday, but I filmed that as well. And then they went across the street to the parking lot they've been parking in every day. And so then the media guy tells us that the family is willing to talk to the media. And so the media, like the real, news stations, they got their list set up on the sidewalk, and the family is starting to come to start walking down the stairs and stuff. And they notice us because it was the three of us, Jay So Extra, aka Today's Celebrity News, and then Chronicle Speaks, and then myself. And they's like, hey y'all, thank y'all so much, blah blah blah. Oh my God, y'all just don't know. It was such a high to know that I didn't offend the family, or that we didn't offend the family, and that they felt like we were really down for them, and they felt what we were trying to accomplish. So that warmed my heart. I'm feeling a little giddy in the inside now. It felt good. So anyway, so that's why I said, even in my live yesterday, but I've said it again today, that I was grateful that one of my prayers has always been to let God's light shine through me. Like as I do this stuff, like I always pray that people see the God in me. I'm human and I can get ratchet, but I always pray that people can see the God in me, God's light shine through me. And I feel like I was able to allow that to happen and have fun and keep it real and tell the truth and drag here, there, make fun of people, but all still within love and fun and all of that at the same time. So anyway, with that, so I've set the scene. Y'all saw that happen. Family, gave some hugs to us and stuff. It was just, oh my God, it was beautiful. And so then we get to the press conference. So remember, they're willing to talk. I'm gonna take this off from scrolling so y'all can concentrate. Bear with me. I'm trying to learn how to work this stuff quickly. Moderators, backstage moderators, can you take the comments off the screen during this part? So now what I'm about to play for you guys is the actual, and this is my footage from my own devices of Kalyn talking to the news media. So this is, hold on, I'm gonna take this down. I don't know if they're busy or not, but what's this S? Give me a second, y'all. It's a lot. Thank you all for these. Oh, they'll be over here. Thank you all for these super chats. I really greatly appreciate it. Okay, I can take that one down. I want to take that down because I don't want nothing disturbing it. And I want you guys to listen intently to Kalyn, who is Dre's oldest sister, giving the press conference. So this is floating around already. I'm going to give a disclaimer to other fellow creators, YouTube creators alike, and wherever else. I'm okay with people using my footage. I am okay with it. Please don't just use it and not at least shout me out. Like, come on, y'all. So that might cause me to give you a copyright claim when you don't put me in the credits at all. That's going to be a problem. But if you use it, I'm okay with it. If you use it and don't give me credit, I'm copywriting. I'm just let y'all know that. All right. So I'm sorry. I had to talk shop on here with y'all. Okay. I'm about to pull it up. Here we go.
And they played my brother. And my brother loved his family. He loved his family no matter what. And my brother was very helpful, goofy. Like, my brother wasn't like this thug like they said. He did pictures to say, but that's social media. Justice for my brother, saw that mess.
So tell us who Andre was. They put a lot of evidence about him being like in the streets, but you're his family. You know who he was. Tell the people who Andre was.
I want to say teenager or trying to find himself. You know, they put him as like he was a thug. He wasn't a thug. My brother loved music. He did rap, but listen to his lyrics. What rap music jacking him? Killing, robbing people, breaking into. He didn't. You know, he wasn't like that. He spoke street life. My brother was street smart and book smart. He graduated. You know, like it wasn't like he was out to get after anyone or try to make it seem like he was this hard thug. He wasn't. You know, my brother was loving and caring. Yes, he smoked weed. He fed the homeless people. Someone needed diapers. He went out his way and bought diapers and milk for this person.
He did not rob his grandmother.
He did not rob his grandmother. That was a lie. My brother, he ran from that. He did not want to do that. He did not rob his grandmother. And it's so messed that he reached out to his grandma and she ignored that. She ignored that. It's just trifling. Yes, he told us. We told her. He told all of us.
Take your time.
Yeah.
It's okay. So, before he died, Miss Robbie called his phone and was cussing him out and would say, "Mother effer, you ain't my grandson. F you, mother effer, blase, this and that." I don't think she was aware of his surroundings. But my brother, he's not like, he's the type of person when something is not right, he's gonna come and speak for all of us to hear. And he kept saying, "Grandma, I didn't do it. I'm trying to tell you, Grandma, Uncle Tim did it." And she was just going on cussing him out. "And you ain't gonna come to my funeral, I ain't gonna go to your funeral." And Dre was like, "Grandma, I didn't do it. I'm trying to tell you, I didn't do it." Me and my sisters, and we was all sitting there like, "Dre, if you didn't do it, don't worry about it." He threw his phone. He was like, "I'm gonna be one of God's soldiers." Right there when he told me that means he's gonna sacrifice the food to his grandmother, that he did not rob his grandmother. He did not rob his grandmother. And that day, that's when he left, and that's when we found out he died. You know, that was messed up. She knew, she was aware of it. She was aware of it. For her to walk at the funeral, Tim didn't stay at the funeral. Tim stopped the whole train. He didn't come to the view. He came there with bulletproof vests on, with bodyguards, and we thought that, how come y'all didn't think that was weird? Like, they come all the way from Lubbock, Texas. No emotions. No emotions, nothing. Him and his grandmother standing back behind me talking and whispering. I kept looking back like, are y'all for real?
Why everyone's crying.
Are y'all for real? And then they say, I don't know why they crying. They knew he was a street nigga. What? That's your grandson. Your grandson been with you since forever. He whatever you trained, learned a lot of things from his grandmother. He folded his money a certain way. He was very frugal with his money because he didn't want to be broke. Because his grandmother taught him that. So, you know, Dre loved his grandmother, man. He loved his grandmother. He did. You know, it's just messed up. But anyways, at the funeral, they wasn't crying. We was on our way to the burial site. Tim stopped the whole traffic. My thing is this: why would you allow your son to stop the traffic to catch what flight? This is important. This is your nephew funeral. Your only nephew from your brother only had one child. Why? No one said nothing. Nobody lifted an eyebrow. No one said anything. I paid attention to all of that. I said, yeah, they did it. They got something to do with it. To catch a flight to LA, that's not that important. You didn't go to his awake. You just want to make sure he was dead. And that's what you did. And you left. And he's up there on that stand crying and lying and stuff. Well, my brother had no access to your people. My mother, he would call my mother to send money and food. My mother would buy pizza out here to feed him. My mother was doing all of that. That was a lie. They had my brother out here in the slums. That little penthouse he was staying next to a couple.
Yeah, it was all run down. And it had an efficiency, and it had a rusty stove inside of it. The bed, the cup, they're like a Salvation cot. There's two little iron metal looking chairs. It was so small, it was like a little box room where he lived in, right next door to Tim's penthouse. Because I visited him up there. And I was asking him, why are you living like this? He said, well, this is why I can live here. And he would go to work when he called the driver. Not using Tim's cars, because we went down to the bottom garage and there was 3 cars down there. He said, these are Tim's and Grandma's cars. They gave me 3. And I said, well, you can drive these? He said, no. I have to call the driver to take me to work and bring me back home. But that place he lived in was like so shabby. I wouldn't even. I came back and told my sister in Texas what he was living in. Run down shabby place next door to our penthouse. And he told me then that Tim didn't like him. He told me that Tim was paying for Griggs to come and see him. But whenever Andre went over to Tim to visit, Tim got mad because the Griggs always turned to where Andre was. They wanted to give their attention to him. So Tim told him he wasn't allowed to come back over anymore because all the Griggs he was paying for to come see him always good to work.
You think Tim was jealous?
He was very jealous. Look at it. Tim's a Mormon. Andre's a McGundy. He's the last lineage of the McGundy family. So if anything happened to his brother, it would go to Andre. Tim didn't want that. Because he wanted to make sure he got whatever left of his mom. That's what he agreed. And he was willing to take his nephew's life. And anybody else, I wouldn't be surprised if he had influence on his mom. That's how bad he was greedy for murder.
What was through your head when you first learned that it was that, $200,000
If Ray had robbed his brother, he would have been flashing everywhere. He would have been having his friends all decked out, he would drive a limousine, making flights, living large. Ray didn't do that. There's no way he would have done that. He's not a thief. Ray is not a thief. Thank y'all so much.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Yep, there you go. Can y'all hear me still? Give me a minute. I'm gonna give you guys a commercial break. I didn't think about it to midway through that piece that I could have been getting this photo ready for you guys. So give me a moment as we take a commercial break, and then we're gonna do a recap of what we unfortunately just heard, which I believe every word. I'm back. I'm trying to get this video up, but I'm gonna put this photo on the screen for you guys. I was able to get the photo. So in this photo, we have the Griggs family. So this is pretty much everybody I've been seeing every day. So we have from your left, as you're looking from the screen, Dre's sister, Dre's big brother. Not sure who this young lady is. Next to Dre's brother. I don't recall seeing her throughout the trial. But then we have Mama Griggs. We have Miss Michelle Griggs next to her. If I'm not mistaken, the lady next to her is Michelle's sister, if I'm not mistaken. And then next to her is the cousin. Then next to her is Kalyn, who is Dre's powerful sister. Gotta love her. Gotta love her. You can tell she got strength. And then next to her is Dre's aunt. And so, yeah, everyone except for the young lady in the yellow next to Dre's brother, everyone else was there. Excuse me. Everyone else there was there almost every day. So, moderators, if you can put some comments on the screen, our super chats. Give me a second, because what I want to play for you next, you guys will want to see, and it's exclusive. JSO Extra, aka Today's Celebrity News, actually just sent me a video that I don't think anyone else has but her. This is a Today's Celebrity News exclusive. So definitely go over there and support her. And her coverage of it, I love her analysis of this trial in general, the stuff that she covers, because I don't know, even I'm like, I saw that with my own eyes and I didn't process that the part of that. I missed that. And I don't know, I love how she analyzes. I love her brain. Give me one second. I'm trying. Y'all, I can't multitask, talk to y'all and remember all the steps of getting this AirPlay to work. Hold on, because I got it on the computer. Now I'm just trying to get it over to StreamYard so y'all can see it. I know it came over. Where is it? Any of y'all have like digital clutter? Like I'm a digital hoarder. Like I have so much digital content on my computer that is just not organized. Like I got a lot of great stuff and it's so unorganized that I should be shaming myself. I know I saw it come over here, but let me see. Let me double check. I don't label stuff. That would make my life easier. Okay, let me try to do it one more time, the AirPlay. I heard it go over. Oh, that's because I'm in recents and not downloads. Here we go. Bear with me, bear with me. This is an amateur at work, y'all. Amateur at work. Oh, I know what I want y'all to. I'm gonna play this for y'all. Did I pull it up? Bring this in. Let me bring this in for y'all. Let's give me a little time to fix this. I might have to take this out the stream though. I don't want to get copywritten. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, it was too big. I tried that before. Don't worry about it. So we do have the video of the video that Tim was referring to when he said that he met with DJ Beats, and well, DJ Beats referred to. I'm not sure, because Tim claims that that he never asked DJ Beats to do anything for him in regards to giving that money to Travell. But anyway, the meeting that DJ Beats and Tim had about like a music video, like this production stuff that he was trying to do. This, what I was trying to play for you guys, was the actual video, and but I'll do that. We'll do that in another live. I'll have it all. I don't know why this is saying this here, but give me 1 second. I want to try one more time, then I'm gonna give up. Because what I'm trying to play for y'all, just so y'all know what I'm looking for, is the actual balloon release. So the Griggs came back after we talked to them and all of that. They left. So when you saw Michelle Griggs kind of in the press conference and tell her sister, like, we got to go, or the aunt that we got to go, then it was because their vehicle had arrived. So they had them in some a black SUV and a black van, and like the court was, taking care of them, and it picked them up, and then they went wherever they went. But then here it is. It's been labeled differently. But then they ended up going to, I guess, gather like the balloons, and they did like a balloon release. Okay, give me a second. I got it now. One day we're going to be real tight. But, these are live streams are a little looser anyway. I watch a ton of YouTube creators and their live streams. Trust me, this one still is. Oh, damn, it's too big, y'all. The file too big. I'm going to have to put it in. I'll figure it out. I'll like clip it down and make it well to fit. Or I'll do a screen share or whatever, but I can't do any of that right now. I apologize, y'all. But this is us living live, living in a real world. But just revisiting what Dre's sister said, that the version of the stories that we got during the trial was that Tim was taking care of Dre. He had, again, remember, invited him or asked Miss Michelle if she could give her son to Tim so that he could teach him how to be a man. And on top of that, could you please send his birth certificate, social security number, and anything else that will help me get a life insurance policy on him? Of course, he didn't say that part. The last part he dropped off. Left out that part. But anyway, he had her thinking that he was going to help give her son a better life, meaning Dre. And instead, he plotted on him. And I think that it purely shows it, like with Kalyn showing or telling what they have not been able to tell thus far, is that Dre was never driving Tim's cars. That sounded strange to me when he was saying it, because I'm like, Tim had like some luxury cars, expensive cars. And from the sounds of it, Tim felt like he couldn't trust Dre, like Dre was irresponsible. Oh, sorry, I got to come off Wi-Fi, y'all. So there's a lot of steps in this that y'all don't know that happen behind the scenes. So in order for me to do all that AirPlay stuff, I had to go off my Ethernet, my 50-foot Ethernet cord that I brought in here to my studio as well, that I bought the other day. Thankful to y'all. But anyway, I had to go on Wi-Fi to do the AirPlay to try to get the photo and the video that I can never get to y'all. But anyway, so he couldn't drive. It didn't make sense to me that he was saying that Dre was driving his cars, had access to his cars. I was like, that don't sound right. You talking about you had a Bentley, and I know Tim had Benzes and all kind of stuff. That just wasn't making sense to me. I was like, I can't see that. And we know that Dre was, in the hood doing stuff and hanging out with his friends and I didn't see that. That didn't make sense to me. The fact that this other lie, we think we can say this now, was that Tim said that Dre lived down the hall or next door to him. Couple doors. I think he probably got creative, because now it makes me, we'll have the transcripts at some point. Maybe I'll go through the transcripts. Let me know if y'all want me. Now, I don't know how much y'all gonna want me to revisit what we've talked about. So let me know. But if you want me to revisit and go through the transcripts, because we're gonna get them in a couple weeks or whatever, or a week or two, I can go through it and then explain as we're going through it. And I won't read verbatim every single thing, but I can go through it and kind of tell y'all in the moments what was happening, because I was there. So let me know if y'all want to see. So just type transcripts or transcripts or something in the chat, or read it. if you don't know how to spell transcripts, type read it. So transcripts or read it in the chat, so I'll know when I look back if you guys are interested in me covering that once we get our hands on it in a live stream, that we can do it together, or a couple, because it'll take a couple live streams. We have to probably do day by day or something like that, because there's a lot that be happening, y'all. But anyway, so we find out, okay, so Tim is saying in the trial that Dre lived a couple doors down. But now that I'm thinking, I'm like, what words did he say? Because the words he said made you think that we were in the same building. They were in the same building. I don't know if he said that or not, but in all actuality, his sister saying, and his aunt, that that Dre lived next door to Tim's penthouse apartment building. but Dre was in the like a regular slummy apartment or something. The way Tim presented it was that that Dre lived in a comparable apartment to his, maybe not the penthouse, but the one next door with the one bedroom or something, you know. Then this other part where she said that Tim was jealous of Andre because the girls, when he would have him around him with girls, the girls were drawn to Dre. I could so see that Dre was more attractive for sure. Dre had a great personality, fun, and you know, all of that, and he wasn't evil. So he had a good heart. You can see that in people. So I could see how the girls would be more drawn. He didn't have wide hips. He didn't have man boobs. I mean, he didn't have an oddly shaped head with a haircut of a 2-year-old. So I could see how women might be more drawn. So it was the competition piece. Dre even told his family, his aunt, that Tim hates me. Tim hates me. I can see how he would say that, because so he went there thinking my uncle's trying to look out for me. He's trying to take care of me. He wants the best for me. This is the pipe dream he was sold. He gets there, and then you find out, oh, you put me in a slummy apartment. Oh, you getting me Goodwill furniture. Oh, you not letting me really come to your house because you hate when girls like me over you. You know, like then you start to realize, oh my God, you hate me. So he said it. He hates him. And then during the funeral, we had heard that Tim had the bulletproof vest, and I think the family had shared that a while back. And just the fact that you come to the funeral with security, and we know this to be fact because this was testified to, with Big Ed saying he was there, Bruce from the show, who we do know was there, and a friend named Randy, who Randy never appeared in. I'm going to say Randy never testified. I don't know if Randy was ever there. Randy might be the friend who was with the shorts, allegedly, that I told y'all about, but I don't know. I don't know who that person was. But the fact that he came to the funeral with the bulletproof vest and all of that, they said that he and Miss Robbie were behind them whispering, saying they don't know why they crying. What? We're at the funeral, and his life was taken tragically. This to me was very telling. So she said that not only did he not come to like the visitation and all of that, but then he comes to the funeral, and then during the procession, stops the procession so that I guess he could get out or go wherever he had to go, because he had to fly out. He had a flight during the time. So you just flying in and flying out, and like she said, who does that? Who? Some of us have flown places to go to funerals for family members. We usually plan to not fly out during the services or any hours between that. We say, well, okay, we know if the funeral's in the morning, even if you got to get back home, you say, well, I'm gonna fly out at 8 or 9 at night. That way I don't have to abruptly leave the services. Or you just don't go to the cemetery at all. Like, don't even break up the procession. But the fact that you were in that much of a rush for this nephew, that you wanted a better life for, so much so that you sacrificed, you know, getting him into schools and paying him allowance and letting him drive your luxury vehicles and getting him an apartment in your penthouse building and all of these things. But then you don't even have, and you own businesses, but you can't take a day off. And I'm pretty sure that the services wasn't on like a Wednesday afternoon. Like, what do you? Okay. Anyway, why am I even entertaining that? Yeah. So all in all, I have here that he painted a false picture. Tim completely, in everything we heard, painted a false picture of that relationship with Andre. What's a little odd to me, and I'm not sure if it was just acting and people, because you know, narcissists, there are people who believe and buy into their stories. We got Darius Crooks, aka Darius Cooks, who's a prime example of that, and he's probably on live right now doing some shenanigans. They're cut from the same cloth. Like this Tim Norman, I don't think that Darius is capable of this level, but the way that they behave and act is very, very similar in the way they bamboozle people. So there are people testifying to Tim's character and saying how he was a father figure to Dre. You even had the producer the executive producer of Welcome to Sweetie Pies for, you know, the last few seasons, who got up there kind of whimpering, saying so much so that Tim was so great to Andre. And I told y'all, I said his sister was just shaking her head as I was sitting behind her. That was Kalyn who was shaking her head like, that ain't true. And then the other conversation that Miss Robbie had with Dre, that Kalyn said that she was privy to, because he put the phone on speakerphone as his grandma is cursing him out. And we ain't really got to doubt that part. We know Miss Robbie curses like a sailor. She's done it on the show. She didn't believe him. And I think it's, I don't believe, me personally, my opinion. Don't attack me for my opinion. You can disagree without being disagreeable, and I don't mind that part. But it just, to me, feels like she was also one of the victims that played into the narrative that Tim created on whatever levels. And we know that Andre was not an angel necessarily, but he was not, definitely did not deserve this. And what I feel is that Dre was a product of his environment, and also, like quite a few, I'll say many of our youth who they have to live. I've even admitted myself, I've done things, not quite on that level, but in my own way. I've made a lot of mistakes, done a lot of shenanigans and stuff growing up. And so we all go through those stages on whatever level. I have family members who went through basically what Dre has went through, and trying to find themselves. And that's what Kalyn said. He was trying to find himself. And so some of that was that. It doesn't make him a horrible person. Doesn't mean that he wouldn't be a benefit to the society. And I honestly think, had he had a chance to live his life and get to some point, that we would have saw those things. But anyway, that's me, my soapbox. Anyway, how long we been in? Ooh, hour 44 minutes. I was going to only do 2 hours, period. Okay, so let's see. So what I'm going to do is read through our super chat questions, VIPs, because we got 47. Oh my God, is that right? 47 super chat questions, comments, and love. I appreciate you guys. Are amazing. This is crazy. It's crazy. Live y'all dreams, y'all, is all I'm saying. Live y'all dreams. You are your own barrier. It's all in your head. And fear never leads to a positive end. No, I haven't put that on my arm yet. I got pain is temporary, quitting is forever is the if you ever wondered what tattoo is on my arm. Pain is temporary, quitting is forever. And that's been a reminder to myself, because I feel like I've quit some things I should have never quit because they were painful for the moment. But also fear never leads to a positive end. That's my latest mantra I've been saying for the past couple of years. So when you're fearful of something, usually it's all in your head anyway, like me being fearful to do lives. I've been talking to the VIP community, friends, family, my therapist for literally like 2 years about me having anxiety when it comes to doing lives. And this, a story I was very passionate about, forced me into it. And the fact I couldn't record these and get them out quick and all of that. And it's just been a blessing ever since. And y'all looking at me like, what's your problem? Because we like this. You should have been doing this 2 years ago. So it was all in my head. And some of what's holding y'all back is all in y'all head. So stop it and get to it. Anyway, let's get to these super chats. Backstage moderators, I will be clicking through our super chats from here on. So you ladies can chill and just, if you want to work on the front end of the YouTube streets, that's fine. But you can add, if new ones are coming in, you can just add the star to them, but I'll be handling the screen for until I say I'm not. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure it out as I go. Anyway, Blue Skies, thank you so much for the super chat. I'm like, where are my glasses? These are my spare glasses that I'm an old. You old when you leave spare glasses at different places. So I always keep these older glasses in my studio by my computer just in case I need them, and they're dirty as heck. Because usually this is only me working in here by myself when I'm recording videos, and y'all never see the glasses because I'll put them on to read some and then take them off and say what I got to say and then cut that part out. Giving y'all too much behind the scenes. So that's why these look different. These are my old glasses. Anyway, and they feel better than the new ones. Okay, so Blue Sky says, what is the possible years for sentencing? I think it's life. It's just life. It's no F penalty, but it's life. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, and moderator put that up if someone is saying something else, but I'm pretty sure that's what we're looking at. Kathy Fields, thank you so much. Thank you so much. All money spent is not good money. Guilty on all 3 counts. Yeah, we read that one earlier, but it was worth putting up again. Thank you so much. Paid for a day of the Airbnb. I appreciate you. Rebecca Usher, thank you so much. Gorgeous Frazier, the Griggs family being able to speak out. That's right. Hands raised. They dropped so many bombs. Oh, yeah, y'all wasn't sitting there. Y'all mean standing there. My hands were shaking. I'm like, oh my God, I'm trying to capture this, but I'm in the moment, and I'm like my hard drive. Y'all heard me. And it's so unprofessional to be filming something like that. And I'm like, ooh, like I'm in the. You hear my voice because I was engaged. I'm like, oh my God, but I'm excited to see if any of the jurors come out to say anything. Yeah, I was saying that earlier too. I hope so. I really hope so, because that's going to give an additional perspective. Like, I know all the other goings-ons, but I have no idea what was happening with what they were doing with that evidence and why they requested it and when, and who did what and who was holding out and all of that, or if anyone was, or if they were just being thorough. Like, I would love to know that. Thank you so much, Nina Phillips, for the super chat. Miss Diva, guilty. Yay, watching from Indianapolis. Yes, Indianapolis. I got family out there. I love Indy. Angela Green, thank you so much. Why is this sticking? I got a different mouse I'm working with. Latanya Adams, thank you. Thank you for everything you're doing. Absolutely love your commentary. Absolutely love you for loving my commentary and encouraging me. Carla Townsend, thank you so much for the super chat. Saint Center, hey friend. Vel, you're amazing. Enjoy your commentary. Enjoy you. Thank you so much for riding with me. Some of these people are my day ones, or they've been around. Saint's been around a while. I don't think she was around in the very, very beginning, but I know my loyal supporters, and I thank you so much, Saint, for that. Scorpius Jones, great work as always, Vel. Thank you so much, Scorpius Jones. I appreciate you. Robin Brown, love your commentary. Love you for loving my commentary. Thank you for your support. Oak Agency. Thank you, Oak Agency. Yes, I saw them and I was like, I'll read it for those who maybe just be listening. Don't forget to hit me up, bro. I sent those 5 cash apps yesterday. LOL. Yes, I saw them and I was like, is this fraud? Is this spam? Because I'm not used to it. Was like one after the next. But I still clicked on them. I was like, I'll find out. I'll be disputing with my bank. Thank you so much. I definitely noticed them, but the name threw me out because I'm like, this is a company and I don't know what's happening. But yes, thank you so much. Sherry Howard, thank you so much. Guilty as charged. Hey man, God is good. God is good. Delay does not mean denial. It took 6 years plus, wherever we're at now with this, but thank God we got justice for Andre. We got justice for the Griggs family. Dre Day. Yesterday, I'm seeing people terming it yesterday, Dre Day. Blue Skies, how was the overall experience? Will you cover another celebrity trial? The overall experience I'm still processing. It's kind of hard to answer. I mean, like what I just expressed, the pain, watching that pain during the deliberation, during the verdict reading from both sides of the family, that was just a lot. And again, like it was like a funeral. I don't know. And just watching, like, there are times that I have moments, because I'm human, where I feel bad for Tim as well. And in ways like, dag, how did you get here? You had so much, and this was so unnecessary. And even going through the hard times he went through financially to feel, I don't know, so much. I'm still processing. But this was not needed or necessary. And he ruined not only his life, his brand, his career, but also the collateral damage is also his mom and the other family members and the Griggs, of course, and Andre. And it's just a lot. And so you're processing that, but you're also realizing in that moment the healing is about to start, like based on this. And you hear that first guilty verdict, and you're like, thank you, Jesus, like a sigh of relief. Even if they didn't get the other ones, you knew that, oh my God, they can start to heal. So I just got emotional for the Griggs family in that moment. But then a sadness because Miss Robbie is older, and she, for better or worse, she is her son, her last son, and she's lost so many men in her life. And there's a whole conversation about that too, when you look at the pathology of their family and the men in their lives. And I've had some conversations with people closer to the situation and got some more insight, and it's a lot. It's just so much to it. So anyway, I'm still processing is basically my overall answer. Is I'm still processing. Second part of your question, will I cover another celebrity trial? Absolutely. In this way, I'm not 100% sure. I'm not saying I would not be willing to do this. I would. There's a lot of other circumstances that play into that, like where and when and all of that. But I would be willing to. It's based on what you guys kind of really want, because this was very interesting, and I kind of learned how these things work and how to operate as media. I didn't even consider myself media until this, and until I started getting treated like media and realized as a blogger, I'm considered media now. So, yeah, I'm willing. Y'all just let me know what you want me to cover. Like, if you're interested, you can put it in this chat, because I will watch this, and I do read the chats. I rewatch partially because I'm judging myself, because I'm critical of myself and I'm a perfectionist. So I'm watching to see what I can fix, but I also read all of the comments that remain that our moderators don't delete, because they're not, they shouldn't be here. But I read all the remaining comments, and then if I see stuff in there, I take note of it. So thank you so much, Blue Skies. I spent a lot of time on that, but it was necessary. Lakeisha B, thank you so much for the super chat. I'm gonna butcher names, and I apologize in advance, but I at least want to say part of the name if I can. Majesty. Thank you so much for the super chat. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Vil, for all your hard work you've done and continue to do an amazing job. Thank you so much for your support. I really, 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 really appreciate you. Alice, Eugene, good job covering the case. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Is this Anastasia? I know I'm messing up. Mebane? Y'all embarrassing me, having me try to pronounce these names. Great work. Been following you daily. I really appreciate your support. Phonetically spell your name in the chat. That way, if I see it again, I can maybe do a better job. Okay. Thank you so much, Shar. Deborah Tab, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. Are you going back for sentencing? Freaking-lutely. If God says so, I will be there. Absolutely. My plan is to attend Travails is next week. At first, I was like, I don't care. I already know he gonna get life. But then I started thinking, like, y'all would want to probably hear the goings on. But next week is really, I have a big event next Saturday, and so it's like I can't go to St. Louis on top of that. But I will definitely be back for Terica, YL, and Tim. I will be coming back. I hate that Tim's is in December because weather's bad, so I might fly then, because I don't like driving in bad weather. But yes, I will. Everyone but Travell, it looks like. Lady T got the tea. I like that. Lady T got the tea. Do you think Janae will do an interview? I don't know. Part of me thinks that Janae is over them, over them. So I'm not sure, because hold on. Because she's been pretty quiet, and now knowing that because in the beginning of this, when the trial was pending and we were coming up to it, I just thought like she would be testifying, Charles would be testifying. Like some of these stories, I'm hearing people say, well, why didn't they put the video in there, the proof, the rap song that he had that was on Sweetie Pie, the clip of him really talking through the plot that he did and how he committed this act. And I was like, so in my mind in the beginning, I thought that too. I'm like, oh, we're going to find out this. We're going to find out everybody who was in the house that Dre was at, and what happened when this happened, and who did what and who said what. A lot of that stuff got glossed over. And so I said all that to say that Janae I said all that to say that, so obviously Janae wasn't involved because they didn't feel her piece was significant enough for this. And she really had no parts in this. So that makes sense. So now that makes me say she wasn't obligated not to speak like some of the other people. Like Miss Robbie, it made sense to me why. Charles, even, because I'm not sure if Charles, if they weren't sure or if they were to call Charles or not. I feel like Miss Robbie, they weren't sure if they were going to call her or not, but she got subpoenaed and they at some point decided not to, which is why she started showing up to court, you know, middle to the end and not from the beginning, because she did want to be there from the beginning. I know that. So I think Janae is not talking because Janae don't want to talk, because what I'm basically saying is she could have been talking. So I don't feel like she was waiting on this. I feel like she's over it. I could be wrong, and she may, you know, this is my assumption, my commentary. Swag found, appreciate you, my Chi-Town brother. All right, Chi-Town, soft side, west side. I'm a west sider born and raised, but I claim the south side because I love the south side. Don't throw tomatoes at me. I love the south side. Anyway, power dynamics for life. Thank you, Vale, for all your hard work, professionalism, the Aries passion for social justice. Amen. Justice for Andre, Dre Day all day. Dre Day all day. And what's up to my Aries sisters? Aries Nation. That's right, 414. I'm 417. So is Bridget, who is down below in our backstage moderation. Deborah Tab, thank you so much. I appreciate you for that greatly. Car Wash 38, thank you so much. Lakeisha Thomas, thank you so much. Like, your face almost looked familiar. Hold on. Now, I don't know if I know you for sure. Do I know you? Or have I seen you somewhere? Ariana, is it true a request for an appeal is not automatic and it has to be some procedural error during the proceedings? Yes, and yes. It's not automatic, but they are going to file an appeal. Tim's attorney, I don't know why this is freezing because I'm on Ethernet and I pay a lot of money for my business internet. So Comcast, we're going to have some problems. We're not in the Airbnb anymore. I better not be having no signal issues. But anyway, Tim's attorney, Michael Lennon, made it very clear in his press conference that he will be filing for an appeal. And he started to talk about some of the holes in it. But as I was telling you guys during the recaps, he was building that case within a case. Like, he was trying to win. He surely was. But he knew what the writing on the wall. So he felt like his best option was to poke holes in this as much as possible. Like Swiss cheese, trying to put as many holes in this as possible so that when he files this appeal, they probably going to have 50 things that they're going to have to disregard and be like, nope, that ain't going to work either. What's your excuse? Nope, that ain't going to work either. Nope, this ain't getting you appeal. Let me see. This one ain't getting you no appeal either. And so he's put so much in this that, you know, because one thing he did mention in his press conference, and I'll figure it out, but I'll get that information out to y'all with my commentary. But one of the things I heard him talking about was he was asked a question about the kind of the racial makeup of the jury, basically whether or not it was a jury of Tim's peers. And he said that he wasn't going to get into the race part of it, but he said that it was really complicated, really hard for them to kind of have a lot of African Americans, or I guess really any, because that's what they ended up with was none. He said because of the popularity of the show in our community. And so they were outruling any jurors. Remember, I told you about one lady who said that she watched the show. It was a couple people saying they watched the show. Oh, I watched it here, there. I watched the season here. But the one lady who said she only watched one season. And then he said, well, what was your opinion of Tim? And she says, I just remember his attitude. Well, of course, that's like, you're out of here. And so there was a lot of that. So they basically got rid of anyone who watched the show at all. Anyone. He also stated that it was hard to find people who didn't know Tim, either on TV or real life. And it was also hard to find people who didn't know Dre on TV or real life either. So these are some of the things that he'll be throwing in there. But that, yeah, he talked about Terica and something with, I call it part of it, but something with her inconsistency in her testimony, maybe even Travail. So he has his plan. He has his plan of what he's going to do. But it's not automatically will file for one, and he will file for it based on what he's going to claim wasn't done correctly during his trials. I'm random. That was a lot for me for me to answer that. Really, the last sentence really is all was needed. But DB 145. Thank you so much. Vale, thank you for your amazing coverage of the case and trial. I appreciate your dedication, attention to details, and your professionalism. Thank you so much. And thank my Aries spirit and the God and my parents. Thank you so much, Smalls, for the super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you, Tony, so much. Your hard work is greatly appreciated. You are greatly appreciated as well for supporting my hard work. Monique W. It's sad that Robbie lost her first son at 37 and Tim plotted this at 37. Take him out. Was Andre Sr. that old? I thought he was younger than 37. She was 37. Okay, I'm sorry. That was my comprehension. Interesting. I didn't know that. I never put that together. Sugar Spice, thank you so much. Yes, thank you guys for 30,000 over 30,000 subscribers. I think when I started this case whenever it started, it's all a blur. When the case started, meaning me covering the trial, going there to cover the trial, I think we were at, anyway, we gained about 8,000 subscribers. My math is off right now, but we gained 8,000 subscribers the last time I looked. So thank you guys for that so much. You guys have, so it takes the channel to the next level. There's like some statistics and stuff when it comes to YouTubing, where it's like at this point, then you're kind of good and you know, your income gets to a certain level and all of that. And so I really appreciate you guys, because it's really been a huge motivation for me to say, okay, now I can see the fruits of my labor. Like, cause it's been some ebbs and flows, and we're going to talk about that. I am going to do the Patreon. October is going to be the October is going to be the month where I roll out our membership and our Patreon. And Patreon, I'm gonna get real comfortable with you guys, because I'm very mindful of what happens on YouTube, so I ain't putting everything out there. And then the membership there'll just be a lot of exclusives over there. So I'm working on some stuff, but I need till October to like really make it happen. Crazy part is that this stuff should have happened like last year, because I started the plan last year, but delay doesn't mean denial, and quit procrastinating, people like me. Proper preparation prevents piss poor performance. Okay, Lauren, overall, thank you so much. I appreciate going to the Lou. I loved my Airbnb, with the exception of our our issues with the Wi-Fi, but then I feel like I fixed it, at the end by doing the Ethernet cord. But yeah, I would like to say where I stayed, because it was beautiful and just nice. It was so much that I loved about it, but I like it so much that I'm a creature of habit, so I might go back. So I want to say where it's at. But it was really nice. What I need to find out from you guys who are from STL is like some great places maybe to dine in and all of that next time, because I didn't eat a lot there, and I had some people hit me up in various places saying, offering to take me out to dinner or meet up and all of that. And it was just a whirlwind. And I was getting so many messages, but I really just didn't have time to do those things. I didn't even do those things with JSO Extra, who is there. And we had planned to, it just didn't happen. Yeah, I was tired too a lot, but the next time I'm there, I'm going to like try to have some extra days where I can do that, because there's some other stuff I still want to do in STL. But yeah, just send me suggestions. And again, we'll be talking about meet and greets in the future. There's concerns with that as well, because everybody ain't your friend. Where are we at? We're at 2 hours and 6 minutes. So just for those of you who may be wondering, like, how long are you trying to hold up my Saturday? I'm going to get through these. How many more we got? I should have been unstarring them. I don't know how many left we got. I would say maybe another 30, no more than 40 minutes for sure. Okay. I just want to make sure I definitely get through our super chats, because I really appreciate all of you making that special special effort, and now I done lost my place. That's why I should have been on star. Give me a second, y'all. Give me a second. Be patient with the amateur. Be patient with the amateur. Okay. Oh, here it is. Okay, great. All right. Kalyn, thank you so much. Or was the take care of mama comment coded to someone to take care? What? I'm not reading. What are you doing? What are you doing? I didn't do it. Don't do that. Oh, don't do that. Yeah, no. You did a great job. Bravo. Thank you so much, Ivy Life Coach. Oh, and I forgot, and I noticed in that Thursday Night Live when I kind of watched some of the replay of it that I totally forgot to give y'all what y'all were really asking for. My voice that was a lot. I was really tired and my voice was bothering me. So I forgot, but it also probably was a good thing I forgot because my voice was bothering me. I probably didn't need to put that level of pressure on it. But people were asking for the I didn't do it. And some of y'all don't like it, and some of y'all love it, and it gives y'all life. And so I'm gonna do it for those who want it because I want to do that. But also some people were like, you didn't do your Terica voice. Could you do the Terica voice? And I forgot. So it wasn't on purpose. I wasn't lying to y'all. I wasn't misleading y'all when I was like, oh, I'm gonna do it, during the Q&A, and then I totally forgot. Anyway, is that true? Is that true that they took the own show down? Because I'm gonna be really highly upset because I've been meaning to like capture them all before that happens because that was a concern of mine. Ooh, please don't let that be. Hold on, y'all, because now y'all, that's gonna for one, I want to watch them. Hold on one second. I can share this screen. Hold on, let me make sure ain't nothing up here. I want y'all all up in my real business. Let me see. Hold on, because I'm gonna share this. Will I be able to share? Hold on, I'm gonna bring it up first because I don't know what. I want y'all seeing my username, password, and then y'all be logging in my Discovery Plus. Not y'all, but y'all know these people that be in the bushes. They don't, they ain't always for you. I'm pulling it up now. I'm going where I always get my episodes from, which is Discovery Plus. Lord, please let this not be true. And this also means I probably need to spend the weekend capturing. Because I watch it, it should be showing up in my it should be showing up in my. Please, no. No, I should have been did our series. Do y'all think they're gonna ever put it back up? Oh my God, it's gone, y'all. It's gone. It's gone. Hold on. It's on demand if you have Xfinity. I used to have Xfinity on demand. I don't know if I got rid of it. Hold on, y'all. I'm sharing this with y'all. Wait, what happened? I was trying to screen share and then it wanted me to do some other stuff. Okay, we'll do that later. But anyway, okay, it's okay. That's good to know. Thank you. I'm gonna try that because I think I have Xfinity Stream too. I really have almost all the streaming services wasting a bunch of money, but it's really for this too, just in case I need to show y'all stuff. Man, that's hard. Man, I know I have some recorded still though, that I haven't actually made into videos yet. So, okay, so we did that one. Thank you, Curtis, for that. Curtis Hunter. Thank you for breaking my heart, Curtis. Ruining my day, Curtis. No. Thank y'all. I love it. Y'all keep me so informed. I love it. Thank you, Vale, my Shy-Time brother, for your hard work and keeping us updated and being respectful to other bloggers. You do a great job. Yes, we're all in this together. I mean, we're separate and we have our own separate business. I really look at this like corporate America. Corporate America, the more hands on deck, the better of a company, the better things come out in the end. Also, we're stronger together. But the other piece of it is in corporate America, I worked with a lot of people I didn't like. And I worked well with them. And it was always about the work. Let's get this work done. We can share stuff. We can work on projects together. And that don't mean we got to be besties. And it just is what it is. People have different personality traits and, you know, different interests in life beyond this. Like we might have this in common as a creator, but we might not have nothing else in life in common. But that doesn't mean we can't work together. And I like to see everyone win. I don't get the whole, I hope that didn't mess up. We still online? We still good? My phone was ringing through the Mac. But yeah, I also look at it like, you know, when I'm winning or when you're winning, it doesn't mean we got to tear the next person down because we're winning. Like we're all gifted, we're all talented, we're all doing something that many people can't do. So thank you so much. I don't know who number that is, but it's one of my friends who has my text. They're texting me and I just see the number. I don't know nobody's phone number no more. Queen Love, thank you so much for the super chat. Oh, and that one too, Quinn left. Thank you. Bridget Cotton, thanks so much, Vail, for all your hard work. You provide great coverage. You kept us up to date every day. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you for making me feel desired in order to come every day, whether regardless of how I felt, but not in a demanding, mean way, but more in a like encouraging way, which made me get more comfortable with these lives and help the channel and all of that. So I appreciate y'all. Y'all are valued more than you know. Keisha King, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Savannah G, thank you so much. Lee Gill, Vail, with regard to your coverage of this case, you always conducted yourself with the utmost respect. So I understand why both Griggs and Montgomery families trust you. Thank you so much, Lee Griggs. I don't know if they trust me because I'm a blogger, but they don't dislike me, I don't think. Most of them. Some, yeah. But thank you so much. I just tried to be me. Omega, yours came up while I was talking at first. That's why I'm like, this seems familiar. Vail, appreciate all your dedication to detail on the case for justice for Andre. Like to know how you feel about the guilty verdict. Happy as hell. Hallelujah. Thank God. Praise him. Delay does not mean denial. Like all of that. I'm ecstatic. It, like I said, it was heavy during the verdict reading because my heart was hurting, breaking for both sides. Not that I wanted, you know, I didn't want to go the other way. Don't get it. I don't want nobody miss it because people love to misunderstand what you're saying on these internet streets. But not saying that if it had went the other way, I'd be like, yay, happy Montgomerys. No, that's not what I'm saying. But it's just no matter what, somebody's heart was going to be broken. I prefer to go this way, that it went this way. But beyond that, once, you know, we were outside and getting to see the Griggs and the balloon release that I can't show y'all because all this foolishness that happens with these devices. But yeah, just seeing that and them cheering and, you know, all of that, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. So yes, I'm very happy. I'm in a good space. I can't wait to order some pizza. I'm gonna order some pizza and I'm gonna chill and guess won't be watching Sweetie Pies, but on demand. But yeah, this is a good day. This is a good day. I feel like I'll be resting well this week, the rest of this weekend. K Human, thank you so much. Thank you, Vail, for all you do. Thank you. Pamela Montgomery at Zion's Girl. Thank you so much. Naylish? I don't know. Thank you. How did Andre know that Tim was after him? He told his grandmother that. Yeah, someone asked that question somewhere before and I answered it. I don't know if it was in one of these lives or not. But Dre knew because I feel like it was in a live because I feel like I remember hearing myself say it now. But they said that some girl told him that Tim was after him at some point. And I don't know who the girl was. Excuse me. It never came up. They never said when, where, how, or anything. We don't know if it was a stripper at Bottoms Up. We don't know if it was a friend of a friend or, you know. Remember, it was girls who liked Dre who Tim brought around that Tim was upset. So maybe it was a girl he had brought around before and she actually liked Dre but was close enough to Tim to know what he was up to behind the scenes. Yeah, we don't. But yes, that's what was told, was that a girl told Dre. Hold on, somebody's sending something that might be something. Oh, they found it. Thank you, Tamara. You know who you are. Thank you. So it's found. Somebody found it. One of my new friends. Amanda, thank you so much for the super chat. I'm sorry. And when I say that, my brain does that. I'll have a thought and I'll only communicate part of it, thinking like you're hearing what's in my brain. So when I said that, somebody, let me see where. I can't see what platform this is. Can you text me and let me know what platform this is? Because I can't tell. But they were able to find Sweetie Pies is still streamable somewhere. Grits and Wavy. This is one of my day ones before I ever was a YouTuber, for about 20 years before. I've known her a very long time. Thank you so much. And she's been rocking with me even before this channel. Some of y'all don't, most of y'all don't, many of y'all, the majority of y'all don't know that I had a YouTube channel before this. So this channel is about 2.5 years old with only about a year of actual productivity on it. I've missed months at a time. So, but she's been riding with me ever since the beginning, even when I disappear. So Grits and Wavy is saying, how old is little Timmy? I have no idea. No, I think Janae posted in one of my videos recently. I posted about Janae a couple months ago, and I think he's 10 or 11, something like that. But I could be wrong. You guys in the chat, please answer that question for Grits and Wavy and at her so she'll see it, if you know how to do that in the chat. Next one, Harrison. Charles has picture with the Griggs family on Instagram currently. Miss Robbie's sister and Monique are in pictures too. Vel, may God bless you. We are grateful for your diligence and your vigor in sticking to this trial. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for that tidbit too. Like I said, I love when you guys inform me and stuff, because I'll go over to, I am following Charles on Instagram. So I hope this causes him to feel more free to start posting, because I did a whole video, if you haven't seen it, and I'll when this is over and I don't edit this, but I'll add the card of the video that I did on Charles, and click the card above. It's not there now. It'll be there when this replays. Click the card above, and it's of Charles. It's about Charles and like what he's been up to, kind of thing. But I'm hoping that this causes him to, move into talking more, but even just from like working on his career, his social media influence and all of that. Because he's kind of, little Timmy is 11. Thank you, Alice, blessed child of God. I knew it was somewhere up in there, but I couldn't remember exactly. I pray, Nurse Kwan, thank you so much. I pray I never have that much hatred for anyone. I know. Oh my God. Could you imagine? Like what? Rest in peace, Dre. May we celebrate you with doing acts of kindness. Amen. Thank you, Vel, for your coverage. Was phenomenal. Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate you and your comment. Mia, I love the new segues. Excellent production, very professional. Keep it up. Keep up all the great work. Following, executing your dreams. Amen. And that goes for all of us. That's for y'all. She typed that to me, but that's for all of y'all, except for the excellent production and stuff. That's the other part. Thank you so much, Mia. I appreciate you. Luster. Forsheen? I don't know. Luster. Thank you so much. You did an excellent job, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much for appreciating my work and me trying to improve it every day. That's one thing. If you stick with me long enough, beyond all this, all y'all gonna see is constant improvement, because that's how my brain works. Like I don't like the subtle. I'm an Aries too, so I always want stuff moving and newness and all of that. That's just how I operate. I'm very random too, because I'm an Aries, and there's a whole lot of other stuff that goes with that. But these are the good parts. We're great people though, generally. Okay, so Miss Eld 321. Tim said, I swear on my bacon, I swear on my bacon thighs, I didn't do it. Y'all so silly. Y'all so silly. Hey, me again. Read it. Remember on Sweetie Pies, Tim had Charles and Dre delivering in a beater that was always breaking down. Oh yeah. When they had the delivery, they would basically before DoorDash and Grubhub and Uber Eats, they were delivering their Sweetie Pies food to the customers. So Tim had Dre and Charles out there driving it was a Dodge Neon. Is that what they called them? Dodge Neon. It was red, and he bought a beater, and then he put the Sweetie Pies logo, and yeah, I remember that. The air conditioner, I think, didn't work. It was like breaking down on them, all kind of stuff. That's what I like. The show had some moments. It's just horrible. Like, okay, we'll talk about that later. I don't want to get too off topic. Monique W, it's Philo if you have it. Is that the streaming app we're talking about? Maybe? I don't know. I'm not sure. Please give context with, and thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it, Monique W. What I see in other people's live streams as well is people make comments, and what you got to always keep in mind when you're making a comment is that we as creators might not see it for minutes after, so we may not have the context anymore. So you always got to kind of spell out the whole thing of what's happening, or like, oh, when it comes to that live stream, it's on blah blah blah. That way we can say, oh, because otherwise we like, huh? And then it makes us skip over your comment. I'm saying that so that I'm just helping y'all out in these how it works in these YouTube streets. Clark Fran 662, but thank you for your super chat, Monique. I appreciate you. I appreciate the coverage and time. Do you think Miss Robbie will release a statement? Nope. Nope. After the Griggs press conference, nope. I think what happens is what had happened is when it comes to the celebrity world and like damage control and stuff, they'll tell you like be quiet, and it'll kind of die out, because if you start responding to it, it just kind of flames the fire. And so I believe that she's gonna lay low for a while. I don't know if she'll ever really ever talk about it. She'll probably talk about it like she's talked about in the past, like, well, he's my son. I, love him to the end. They decided what they felt they thought, kind of stuff like that. I don't feel like she's gonna really go into it. I just don't. And it's a lot. Ava 50159, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Nisi M, great job, Vale. You deserve your flowers. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. DP Diva 721, thank you so much. Lisa Hickman, new to the channel, looking forward to the next case. That's right. And let me know what y'all want me to cover next. Someone brought up, and I'm forgetting the lady's name. These lives are going to help me put out more content quicker, and the fact that I get to interact with y'all is even better. But I wanted to do the story on that lady nurse who like ran at 100 miles an hour into an intersection and unfortunately took the lives of like 6 people, because there's like so much nuance to that as well. And just the idea of who would do that and why, and oh my God, the mental state and all of that, and the tragedy behind it all. But anyway, I was going to do a pre-recorded video on it, and I did my research. I got clips and all kind of stuff. And what happens is I do all that, and then days later, it's like you got to edit, you got to feel like filming and all that. And usually, sometimes I don't get around to that part of it, and then it's old news. But someone asked me to cover it because someone asked me to cover it, and I was like, oh, I'm interested in that story. I just thought nobody would be interested in hearing it weeks later. So, yeah, I'll be covering stuff like that. So, Sarah J, thank you. I'm curious to know what Oprah thinks about the whole situation. I wonder, will she say something, or did she already? To my knowledge, Oprah has never said a word about it. I don't think Oprah gonna really respond to this. I don't know. I don't think so. Like, she's not even really associated with the OWN network anymore. I mean, I get that she was when the show was there, and she's the reason for the show being on the network and all that, but I don't know, like on her level, I don't see it. I've been watching Welcome to Sweetie Pies on Philo. Little Timmy just turned 11. There we go. So I can tell from this context that Philo is some kind of streaming platform that I'm not familiar with. I've never heard of it, actually. But thank you guys. So now I know to look for it. Now I'm gonna have to cancel something because I can't keep. I think I have about 6 or 7 streaming services. That gets expensive. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate you. M Badger, how about covering the Tiffany Haddish Ari Spears trial? If that goes to trial, I will cover that. I'm not saying I'll go to LA for that, because I'm sure there'll be tons of media. There'll probably be a madhouse, and I ain't feeling that part of it. But I did do a video on this already. If you haven't seen it, I did a pre-recorded video covering it because of the fact that maybe we can have a conversation. I don't know. I get nervous with some of these topics because people get a little crazy with the comments. And this is a very sensitive topic and the words that people use to describe this. Like, you got to be very careful. But I actually was a fan of Tiffany Haddish, and so much so that I've like read her, listened to her audiobook and watched things about her and all of that. I have quite a bit of history or knowledge about her based on, you know, stuff I've listened to and read, etc. And the same with Ari Spears, in like knowing his beginning when he started on Def Comedy Jam with Martin Lawrence. He was on there as a 16-year-old comedian. And that was huge. And I remember that because he's only a couple years older than me. And I was a teenager, like, oh my God, look at him. He on TV. He's a comedian, you know, all of that. So I'm interested. I will definitely catch back up because the only thing I know about the past 2 weeks is James Timothy Norman is a murderer. That's all I know. That's all I know. Okay, Luke Dan, thank you so much. Monique W, thank you again. Yes, it's a streaming app. Thank you so much for clarifying. I appreciate that. Oh, we're at the last one. So this is going to be the last comment, and then we're going to wrap it up. We're at an hour 30. That's good. We're about to be at an hour 30 minutes. I appreciate all of you for joining. Omega Veil, I'm also Aries, April 10th. Look at the Aries Nation taking over this live stream. And, you know, the rest of y'all okay too. But, you know, I'm an Aries. So greatness knows greatness. Here's $10 on me for you to have a drink on me. Yeah. Actually, oh, wow. Y'all, I forgot. I got a friend's birthday dinner tonight. Totally forgot. Jesus. I would have remembered eventually. That means I'm not going to have pizza because I can't eat like that. But so I will definitely be having a drink tonight. I need it too. But let me see. Am I forgetting anything? Let me check the private chat. Okay, we good. Oh, let me pull this up. Give me 1 second, y'all. I should have been prepared, but you know, I'm an amateur. So thank you all for all of the super chats. Thank you guys for the cash apps. I don't even know my other phone behind me. But the cash apps, hold on, I can grab it. The cash apps, the Zelles, the Venmos, PayPal coming soon. Thank you for my moderators, both my YouTube moderators, and I'm gonna bring up my, if they're there. I'm not sure if y'all are there or not. If you're there, turn on your camera so I can see you wave, and then I know I can pro you up. My backstage moderators, Go Gadget, Bridget. If you want to say something, I'll just say that. Okay. If you want to say something, stay on camera. You don't have to stay on camera for them, but stay on. Alice, do you want to say something? Give me a thumbs up if you do. And Go Gadget, Bridget. But they have both been our backstage moderators. Show them some love. They're also in the chat. And I'm gonna pull up Alice, blessed child of God, so she can say her greetings to you. And then I'm gonna also pull up Go Gadget Bridget, so she can say her hello.
Hey y'all, guilty. Yes.
Yeah, boy. And Go Gadget Bridget.
Boy, I gotta say, this was a crazy ride. It was so crazy.
Yes. And well worth it. Justice for Andre, Dre Day all day. Thank you, ladies. I appreciate y'all so much. And for being like just on the spot when I'm like, oh my God, I didn't tell them I'm going live. And I don't know if they saw the VIP message. Let me text them. And you ladies are just like, yeah, we ready. When you ready, we saw the message. I'm good. You know, I really appreciate y'all for that. But yeah, with that, I think that's it. Just thank you all for your support. Just know that we have more coming. I'm going to be doing these lives on Saturday mornings. That may change. I'm gonna see how that works out. I gotta check with the significant to make sure that can work out. If it works out, then we'll do Saturday mornings. If not, then we'll do another day. But I do like the idea of doing a Saturday or a Sunday morning. Just, we relaxing on the weekend. We could chill a little bit. In my mind, I would like for us to talk about hot topics from that week, what was going on. And we can just be free form, and I'll have some stuff in here for y'all too, videos and photos, clips, and we can just hang out. And then during the week, I would like to do like one live in the evening, maybe on a Wednesday evening or something like that. I'll pay attention to what's happening in the YouTube streets, but I'll pick an evening, and then that would be more of some topic at hand, whether it's something that's happening or something we're consistently covering. If it's something happening like this or some of the other stuff, you good people have been suggesting, and I'll compile that list and figure out what we're looking at. But yeah, with that, thank you guys. I really, really, really appreciate you. Thank you for the love. You guys have really blessed my life. And in return, I want to do the same as we move forward. So with that, until next time, until I upload the next video, make sure to take care and be blessed. Peace.